Hey everyone, and welcome back to Pop Sub Club. I'm Nick, and I am here with Morgan, who is a cosplayer and all-around super cool person. You might know her from Instagram or various cons or any cosplay event under Morganite Cosplay. But Morgan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm happy, I'm happy to be here. I love talking about this stuff, so I'm excited to meet a fellow movie, comic, theme park enthusiast.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime. And it's weird how those are the things specifically because those are the things that they live rent free in my head. And I'm very blessed that
Yeah.
my fiance also likes that stuff a lot. But even she has her moments where she's like, I'm just trying to lounge and do some drawing and listen to some lo-fi. And I'm over here like, and then this ride does this. And then I saw that the Halloween Horror Nights is gonna do this. So it's nice to be able to like have this space to chat with like you guys and just have some fun with it because
hmm
man, oh man, do I love this stuff just as much. You probably way more because I don't cosplay, but unfortunately I'm not that artistically inclined in that regard. But that's why I'm here to talk to you because cosplay's so freaking cool. Like what got you into it?
It is. Yeah. I mean, it's been around for a while, but it's definitely evolved and changed
Yeah.
very recently and become very popular. And funny enough, I do think COVID actually really sparked that in a
Mhm.
lot of people. Um, I went to a Comic Con. I'm from New Orleans originally, and we had a show there, Wizard World, which is no longer
Hey, Wizard
around.
World. I used to read
I
Wizard
know.
magazine.
But that was like the Comic Con, I guess, that would come to New Orleans every year. And my husband and I, we, we're like, hey, we've never been to one of these before. Let's go check it out. Probably will be fun. Threw together some kind of Wonder Woman something. I had no idea what cosplay was. And we went and we just had such a fun time. And even, in my like thrown together outfit, people were wanting to take pictures with me, which was so strange. And I saw other people in, very, incredible costumes. And we just kind of fell in love with it. So we wanted to make that an annual thing
Yeah.
that we did. And over time, I started to, they kind of have cosplay guests at cons and they
Yeah.
have their own tables and they share their artwork and their work. And I started talking to some of them and they were all very encouraging. But at the time, I thought that I had to look a certain way or
Mhm.
have to be, kind of something closer to like a model or something to cosplay or, oh, I don't have a face that could look like a lot of people. I really didn't know what it truly meant.
Yeah.
And I just kind of had this outside view of it, just kind of surface level. And so I kind of was talking myself out of it a lot of times, like, oh, this isn't something that you can do full time or, it's just something, for fun,
Hmm.
kind of a once a year thing. And then, when COVID happened and everything kind of, the world was put on hold, um, it kind of came back to me like, no, this is something that I'm really interested in and I think would be fun. And it's something to do,
Hmm.
during this time, something that could, make people happy. And um, at the time, I was like, do I want to start going down the social media route with it? So I started an Instagram page, and I had no idea how many people I was about to meet
Ah.
just by making that decision. Um, so yeah, I just kind of started posting and started to think about characters that I really love.
Mhm.
I kind of went ham with it at first because I think I was making up for a lot of lost time. So I would, I just started by ordering, kind of just lycra suits, different, very simple, comfortable suits of different superhero characters that I
Yeah.
really loved. just from Amazon or something, just something to get started. I was interested in making things, and I started to, as I was on Instagram and finding other cosplayers around
Yeah.
the world, it really opened up my eyes to um, different materials that you can use to achieve things for very affordable. Um, and it just really opened up my eyes, and just started to follow other people that I really loved, and messaged people, and I think a lot of people really connected at during that time, because we couldn't go to these events in
Yeah.
person, and we couldn't have in-person interaction as much. So I think a lot of people really held on to that resource, and I
Mhm.
think it was great. And we would even do things like this. I started to meet someone that's in London, and he was like, oh, I try to do a little uh Instagram live show
Nice.
every time. I think at the time, was it I think it was just when like WandaVision and some of those Disney
Yeah,
Plus
yeah.
Marvel shows were starting to come out, and they were
Mhm.
wanting to kind of kind of have an Instagram live chat about as each episode would come out, and that I
That's fun.
would meet other people, mutual friends, and it kind of grew and grew, and then once cons started coming back, it was like full force.
Yeah.
I really was interested in working with foam and armored looks, so started watching YouTube videos, and finding cosplayers that some do professionally for a living.
Yeah.
So yeah, and so I think the craziest part about it all is honestly just the people that I've met. And looking back, now that we live in the Orlando area, um, I would say all of our friends that we knew that lived here ahead of moving here, I met because of cosplay.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
awesome. It's such a great community. Everyone
Yeah.
is so welcoming and they helpful, and I swear, like, as much as you can see, because I always say like the internet space is a
Yes.
megaphone for a very small group of people, and as much as you can see it, negative people on the internet in this particular space, when you're
Yeah.
out there and you're actually like in the fandom and you're meeting these people, some of the nicest people you meet, they're all like you or I. They want people to get more involved. They want people to know more about
Yeah.
the medium that they love, because there's a lot to love about it. So that's so
Right.
cool that you said that, because I know for me, COVID was a terrible time for so many people, and
Mm-hmm.
for me and my fiance, then girlfriend at the time, we were just kind of making it work. And I hate to say it this way, but like if it wasn't for COVID, I probably wouldn't get into a journalism field that would eventually lead me into this particular podcast, into talking to you
Yeah.
and talking to so many others. So
Yeah.
it was definitely a time for those that were fortunate enough to not be dealing with hardship to really explore their more creative side, because you literally couldn't do anything. There was
Mm-hmm.
nothing else to do. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that's cool that you were able to
Yes.
kind of make lemonade with some not so great lemons, but that's
Right.
cool that
Right.
you made it work. You see, the
Yeah.
sun is my enemy right now. Like sometimes I look like I'm in the bat cave, and then
Oh,
other
yeah.
times it's like, oh, I have a face.
You're fine.
So
You're fine.
that's
Yeah. I
stupid. I gotta
think
get a pesky ring light.
yeah, what do
Yeah.
they say? Boredom incites creativity.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
So, I mean, I wouldn't call it boredom, but I think it was a wake-up call for a lot of people, because it felt like time slowed down, and we
Oh,
weren't
yeah.
just on this rat race, and you kind of felt like you had the space and the time to just reflect and figure out things.
Yeah.
And
It was a year to figure you out.
yeah, and I think, today I'm like, man, why did I feel like I just could do a lot more back then? Like, it's just yeah. So but yeah, at its core, it's costume play. And I think for a lot of people, I know for myself, someone who is more introverted and quiet and not as you know, expressive in some ways. It's definitely a way to become something that you're not.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy when you put on these costumes and these suits, especially of characters that mean a lot to you. It's almost like you can have that like connection or experience of that character, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get it.
You start to try to emulate those characteristics, and I find that a lot of characters that I love have qualities that I don't think I have in myself. So it's always characters that I'm like, wow, I wish I could be more like that, you know.
Yeah.
Confidence, that strength, that ability to be selfless, and you know. So I think that's usually what I gravitate towards. And it's really important to me to only cosplay characters that I have an emotional connection with, and not just because it's, you know, it's what's popular at the time, or it's, oh, this is coming out, so
Absolutely.
You know, it's you know, while sometimes those things do coincide, you know, like when the Marvels came out, I was like, okay, I gotta
Time to shine.
go ham and, you know, really take advantage of you know, that discourse, and you know, just show my love and passion for the character. So it's definitely interesting how it's changed a lot, especially with film studios realizing the marketing potential of cosplayers.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's definitely, there's a lot of different, you know, just worlds within the world. You know, and it's really just up to you what you want. You know, some people want to make it a career. Some people, you know, love to just make things, and they don't necessarily care about you know, people seeing it, you know, the views. And for others it's, you know, just the community, and they want to go to the cons and hang out, you know, with other cosplayers in person, and just to have fun and, you know, be with friends. And you know, so it's, everyone can do it, I think, is the biggest thing. And yes, there's negativity and there's people that will try to gatekeep things. That's with anything, unfortunately. But like you said, for the most part, my experience has been abundantly positive with the people that I've met through it.
And I think that's the most important part that people should know, is that I've always found, and I could very well be wrong, but I've always found in my personal experience, those that try to gatekeep are often kind of gatekeeping themselves from a full range of like emotion. Like they're holding themselves back by trying to hold other people back, because maybe there's some type of an insecurity or something about themselves that isn't quite sure. And I don't want that type of behavior to push people away from something they might enjoy. Now, it's funny that you said that you're very introverted and you're kind of reserved. I am the exact same way. Like when I was a little kid, my parents would literally walk in the room just to make sure I was alive.
Yeah.
And I'd be sitting there just like watching a Disney movie, playing with my toys. And I'd be like, hey, what's up? Like I was so to myself. Unfortunately, I still am that way today, for better or worse. But it's funny how you mentioned that cosplaying people that you find similarities to, because I never like fully cosplay, but I used to call them like secret cosplays in my head, just for me, because like when I was a kid in high school, that was when Amazing Spider-Man came out, and I to this day,
Andrew Garfield.
Yep, he is my Spider-Man through, because I love his Spider-Man, and I like his Peter Parker so much, and his personality just popped off the page. But it was kind of like a happenstance to where in my head I was like, I love this guy, and then I look at my closet and I'm like, oh, very similar clothes. So I would literally like come with like a Ramones t-shirt I still have, probably don't even fit in anymore, and I had like a green bomber jacket, and I would just this is my jam. And then no one knew, no one paid attention, but I knew, and it made me happy. It was nice, you know. And it, like you said, you find qualities in yourself through people or characters that
Mm-hmm.
have qualities you don't always explore. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that is kind of, I think that's very healthy in many ways, because
Mm-hmm.
find out how much you can do by
Mm-hmm.
putting on that quote unquote mask and just
Right.
seeing how it feels. And then it's awesome. I like the way that you put that, because I think that's
Exactly.
very good for a lot of people, because a lot of people have some social issues. You know, they
Right.
aren't comfortable going and talking. I know it took
Yes.
me forever to get comfortable just to say hi, how are you, to a stranger. Like Epic
Mm-hmm.
Universe, when we met at Epic Universe for the opening day thing, I was so happy that my coworker was there, because if it was just me, I probably
Yeah.
would have had a great time but talked to no one.
Well, yeah, it's overwhelming, you know, and especially in that kind of environment. But yeah, it's kind of ironic, because I think to myself a lot, I'm like, man, going to cons is like the most exhausting thing for someone like me. Like at surface level, I'm like, man, okay, I'm about to be with 100,000 people. You know, it's going to be so draining,
It
you
can
know,
be.
socially draining. But it just, I don't know, I can't not go. You know, it's just something that I look forward to so much. And it helps to have friends that I know that are also going to be there. And
Hmm.
it's fun to coordinate with people, be like, oh, let's do a group of characters from this, you know, fandom or
That's fun.
whatever. And a lot of times, and I'm glad that more cons have been doing this, which is they'll try to do, you know, different meetups and kind of a central location. So they'll have Marvel meetups, DC,
Yeah.
you know, like at MegaCon they had a Critical Role meetup. So it kind of makes you find your people.
Hmm.
And it's such an easy, instantaneous connection, especially when, like for me, I get excited when I find other people cosplaying the same character as me. I don't
Yeah.
get threatened by that. I'm like, ooh, I love your take on it, you know, because everyone, and that's the cool thing about cosplay is talking with people that have worked in like film costume design.
Hmm.
They really think it's amazing as well, because there's so many different avenues you can go with it. Like the limit doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You can, if you want to go to first screen accuracy, you absolutely can do that. And people do that. And it's amazing to see how they push themselves to find the materials and coloring and everything to make it look as screen accurate as
Yeah.
possible. But you can also, you know, do gender bend, which I love when people do that, when they take a character that is, you know, traditionally male and they put a feminine spin on
Hmm.
it, or vice versa,
Hmm.
or they do a mashup, you know, take two completely different, like one year they had a group that did Barbie Avengers. So they were all in pink and there were the suits, and but they were all like Barbie-fied, and I was like, that's awesome.
Star Spangled Barbie.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Or like I've seen people, I think it was the same group actually. They did like Mandalorian, but Avengers. So all of their
Nice.
Mandalorian armor was different Avengers characters. And like you could do so much with it. And that's what I think I love about it. Most of the time I think I do tend to try to do recreations of the costumes.
Yeah.
But I do like to kind of throw in my own design ideas, or like,
Hmm.
oh, how can I make this more practical, because I need to be able to sit down and go to the bathroom.
Fair enough.
At first I was like, oh, I'll be fine, and I would go through a con day, not drink any water, not go to the bathroom, because it was just such a crazy difficult
Yeah.
time to, you know. So but nowadays I'm like, no, I need to be able to move around and not, you know, die and
Mhm.
dehydrate. But you know, it just depends. But yeah, I think that that's what I love about it, is just seeing other people's ideas and kind of their own self come
Mhm.
out through that. It really is a way of artistic expression, just like
Definitely.
music, just, you know, just like anything else, I think. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that, you know, it has become a more um popular thing, and I think a lot of people appreciate it a lot more than maybe its earlier years, where people would kind of just, oh, that's super nerdy, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think most people are like, wow, you know, you made that, you know, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
It's funny when you say it like that, because it's kind of like, it kind of reminds me of Uber in that sense, where I'm so used to hearing, oh, get an Uber. And I'm like, you know,
Yeah.
actually, Uber didn't exist for very long. And then it's the same thing with
Yeah.
cosplay. I'm so used to seeing cosplay from like reading Wizard Magazine, you know,
Mhm.
watching things on YouTube or like documentaries or whatever, that to me it's normal. But now I'm realizing like, oh, this entire section of the convention center is strictly for photo ops for cosplay.
Right. Right.
Like, I mean, not strictly for cosplay, but you know what I mean, like tailored to make that work.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm so ingrained in all of this fandom that it never clicked to me until like you just mentioned it now. I'm like, wow, cosplay really has like blown up in a great way.
Blown up for sure.
That's wild. Sometimes time is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, I think probably, man, I do think the MCU has played a big role in that.
Oh yeah, has to.
What they built with that entire, you know, cinematic universe, I think that was probably one of the biggest,
yeah,
you know, reasons for why it's become a much larger thing. And, you know, anime as well. I mean, that's a whole other world of cosplay that I haven't even, you know.
They get like giant wings that move. You get like Angemon from Digimon walking around.
You have freaking engineers up in here. I mean, you know, you really do.
What are you doing with your time? You could do so much. My God.
And now with 3D printing, I mean, now that you can, you know, anyone can get a 3D printer, and, you know, like we have one. It's a small one, but we have one.
Awesome.
You know, and I mean, the stuff you can do with it is pretty incredible. I remember a funny little anecdote. Sam Raimi was in New Orleans one year, and I told my husband, he's a big Spider-Man fan. I was like, just go up to him and just say hi, you know. Okay. So I went over there, and he said Sam Raimi was just blown away how the regular man could have a 3D printer. Nowadays, I guess because at the time, you know, that was something that only, you know, I guess maybe, you know, big studios or whatever were using. And
it makes sense. Like, I didn't even know that tech existed back then.
Yeah, so the technology as well for what we do has increased significantly as well, and it's become a lot more accessible. There are a lot more websites that create pretty decent quality suits for very affordable prices,
which is just bananas. That's so cool.
Yeah, and I mean, they're quick with it. I mean, even, you know, I'm sure some of them even have all the Fantastic Four suits out, and the movie hasn't even come out yet. Like, it's moving so fast. I
saw an ad for Fantastic Four suits, actually. Yeah. I was looking at the Reed Richards one, and
Your
I'm like,
was algorithming.
Oh my God. You don't even know. And I saw that, and I'm just like, that looks so cool. And then I'm like, I feel my wallet shaking. It's like, stop, you've spent enough on stuff. Stop. And I'm like, you're right. But man, does it look cool.
I know. But sometimes you just got to. Yeah. Because it's, you know, it's meaningful, and, you know, it's empowering, and, you know.
It's fun. It's so fun.
Yeah, it's just fun. And, you know, people, I feel like I would try to dress up a lot for movies. I feel like it's been a while recently, again, because most of the time it's very difficult to you know, sit down and, you know, do everything you need to do. But
that's what makes them the real heroes in those costumes. It's not the acting or the saving of lives, it's the holding it in sometimes.
Yes. But yeah, I think, although I will say more recently, I do feel that with the costume designs for film in particular, I do definitely see a trend of them going more minimalist and more practical, which I totally understand. But part of me is like, dang, you know, I just love a very, all the little details and just
Same.
everything. Like, I still hope that they continue to, you know, kind of keep doing that. You know, I think a lot about, you know, Superman, saw Superman, his suit compared to Man of Steel.
Very different
The
vibes.
costumes in this movie compared to the costume design in Man of Steel
Very different
is
vibes.
so
For sure.
different. And I just think the costume design in Man of Steel is just
It's something else.
otherworldly. They went so hard.
I'm thankful for that movie because I know we're
Yes.
I know we're definitely like skipping ahead, but I am okay with that. But I feel like nowadays when we get Batman, for starters, I definitely feel like we're gonna get Batman like that Alex Ross image where he's tending to his wounds. Like we're gonna have T-shirts suit
Yeah.
Batman pretty soon. And as for Man of Steel, I appreciate because I did see the new Superman, I loved it, and I'm not even like big
Yeah.
into DC, but it was great.
Yeah.
But I also like Man of Steel when I first saw it too. And I like how that film definitely justifies the otherworldly aesthetic of that suit to where
Right.
if the cape is the blanket, we're copacetic. I'm cool. I always found that when it came to the Batman look in Batman vs. Superman, I'm not really big on the trunks or no trunks argument. To me, I'm just like, make it look like how it looks. I don't care. In that case, I think that the trunks would have tied it together, but I was obsessed with the Jim Lee cowl personally.
Yeah.
I loved the texturing of the Batman suit. And I loved how it felt like you could see the wrinkles. Like it didn't seem like it was uncomfortable to move around. But yeah, comparatively, like this Superman to that Superman, like it's just so weird. Like that one, the new Superman feels like a suit in every sense of the word. Like it looks like almost like a motorcycle type of thing.
Yeah.
It definitely takes some growing. When it's like more form fitted, I'm like, okay. Like when he's talking to Crypto, I'm like, okay, that looks pretty. That looks pretty tight.
Yeah.
Then there's other instances where I'm like, okay, the wrinkles are wrinkling right now. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, listen, I can't say anything because there's been many times where I'm like trying to frickin' make something work that I'm making.
Absolutely.
Man, it's just, you know, like, what do you sacrifice? Do you sacrifice range of motion because you want it to be more sleek, or do you, you know, kind of give it a little more fabric and so that you can kind of, you know, it's kind of those little decisions that it's hard to make because you try to have the best of both worlds, but sometimes it's not always possible. And, you know, but yeah, I think, Man of Steel is just so special. Just the Kryptonian, just everything about it, like, just top tier for a Superman, like just a Superman film, and also just a superhero film in general. Just insane that was over 10 years ago.
I know. It's wild. And I mean, like, and don't get me wrong, like I really like the new Superman. I really, really do.
Yes.
I love that new suit. I love the colors. Reminds me of the cartoon. I prefer a Superman that has a good range of motion to let him do the Superman stuff.
Right.
It's not. So as far as I'm concerned, that one is also like a really great suit to me when it's like, you know, especially when you get those iconic poses. But yeah, that Man of Steel, like I always tell people, because Man of Steel is such a divisive film, and I completely understand and I get it. But I also am not afraid to tell someone, listen, Man of Steel made me a Superman fan. I can forget him killing his daughter 100%. But when it came to like how I always wanted to see his powers in action as a kid, that movie did it first for me. And I think, you know, like the fight, I know there was the collateral damage. It was, and there are many respects where I look back on that film and I'm like, I can see where maybe they went a little too far in terms of like certain elements. I can respect and understand that. Me personally, still enjoy the movie. I am one of those fans that's like, unless it's egregiously awful, I can like anything. Like I still watched Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider with happily. I don't care. So for me, I'm never one of those like hypercritical ones. I always see and respect the flaws, but then it's like I could sell every other DCEU movie that I didn't like. I still have my copy of Man of Steel. It's not going anywhere. Right. And that suit and his look and the vibe alone, like I I get it. It's so cool. I love
Mhm.
that. I've watched
Mhm.
like they do the iconic like Superman punch in midair and how that like was recreated everywhere else.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that
Yeah.
can't be beat.
And
That's
then, I mean, you have Hans Zimmer, so I mean, it's game over at that point.
uh,
It's like
my friend and I
it's
still
over at
geek
that
out
point.
over Flight and Ideal for Hope. Like to me, that is the coolest modern Superman theme. Like, oh my
Yeah,
god,
it's
the
so
song
good.
is
I know, crazy.
amazing.
Yeah, and then just the way that that Zack Snyder visually had them move, their
Yeah.
speed, they're just. I'm like, oh, like I feel like I had never seen that
Hmm.
visually depicted like that before, and it was
Yeah.
just so sick. And I'm like, dang, like Fiora is so like top,
Brutal.
top,
Oh
top,
yeah.
top. And yeah, like her costume design, amazing. I was like, I have to make both of her suits. The one in the very beginning of the movie when they're still on Krypton, it's like
Hmm.
5 minutes of screen time, maybe. And then when they're on Earth, like the helmets and everything,
Such a good suit.
so freaking cool. So
You
cool.
know, I can't say I kick myself because it wasn't my decision, but I always kick something because it came out a year after Avengers where everyone was talking
Mm,
about Loki kneeling and making everyone kneel. And then when Zod like talks all that crap to Superman and then just flies with no problem. Every time since I first saw the movie, I'm like, and this is the part where he's gonna tell him to kneel. And then he didn't. And I think it was
yeah,
because of Avengers, and I'm like, no, but that's Zod's thing.
yeah,
I always want to kick something when I see that because it was the perfect setup. Like visually, he's towering over
true.
Superman. Superman's already on the ground. All he's got to do is say, like, "You will kneel
Mm-hmm.
before me" or something, and I was
Mm-hmm.
geeked out so hard.
Mm.
I thought that was like that fight, and I love how I'm a big fan of fight scenes. I'm a big fan of martial arts, and I love paying attention to storytelling and choreography. Like I just spoke to the director of Thunderbolts earlier this week, and he was
Oh,
even
cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
so fun, such a surprise.
yeah.
He was even talking about how in that scene when they fight the Sentry,
Uh-huh.
it wasn't so much about showing his strength, but Bob realizing how strong he is
His
in that
restraint.
fight, and that's all
Yeah.
nonverbal in the movie. So like what I loved in Man of Steel was how you see Superman fighting or trying to fight because he's never like had to fight before,
Right,
and
right.
then you see Zod and he's like when he's like chopping him in the throat and like the sound waves that come off of it,
Yeah,
like, he's got Kryptonian martial arts in there. Like those
right.
little things that you just don't see in other Superman projects are those are
Yeah.
the things I geek out about because I'm like through those like that half second of interaction, you know so much about Kryptonians because you
Yes.
know like these guys are warriors, they have their own style,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and they can take on another Kryptonian and just systematically dismantle them with powers they never even had before.
Right. Now
Like,
that they're using the sun,
mhm.
Earth
So,
sun, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so
Yeah,
like,
and that's why I think Man of Steel and what they did with the character worked so well because he is not of this planet. He never
mhm,
was.
mhm.
And so he will never be human,
Yeah,
no matter how hard he wants to be.
mhm.
So I think they did a good job of kind of continuing to remind you, like, no, like this guy. I mean, can you imagine somebody like that just being present in the world,
It would be. I
an
mean,
unstoppable force?
it would be so scary. Like, I
Yeah, people would be
love.
terrified of him. Like he
Yeah,
is kind of scary, and I get, with James Gunn Superman, what David said about, oh, he wants to, he should look like, children should be able to come up to him, and
mhm.
he says, and that's true.
Yeah,
I think he would also want to be that symbol of hope and approachable. And but it's kind of that interesting idea, like he said, they really went hard with all the collateral damage and the city, buildings and
yeah.
everything. But it's true that that would probably happen. And it always comes down back to the idea of, if somebody existed like that, what would you do? Should he be allied with certain countries?
Absolutely.
Should
Like,
he be American? Should he be his own individual? He will act. And I mean, Captain America Civil War touched on the same thing.
mhm.
Should these people with these abilities just act on their own accord, or, you know, it's kind of, that was always an interesting concept to
Yeah,
me.
I agree. I think that the thing with Man of Steel, I guess the best comparison I can give it for Man of Steel versus Superman is like Earth 616 versus the Ultimate Universe. You know, Ultimate Universe and Man of Steel are both very similar in the fact that they aren't afraid to get realistic. Like in the world, how would this go? And in many ways, it wouldn't be as pretty as we'd like. These heroes might be as heroic as we like. And in the case of Man of Steel, like human beings and human nature, we're scared of what we don't know. And as much as I'm sure Clark in those films wanted to be the Clark we see in Superman, I don't know if the world ever allowed him to get to that point. And he does his best with what he's got. And as far as the collateral damage in the film, like I think a lot of people forget that while he wasn't like going out of his way to save squirrels, and maybe a few minutes of saving some lives would have helped tip the scale a bit. I'm not going to argue with someone saying that.
Yeah.
I will say that he wasn't trying to harm people. If anything, he was the one being used as the collateral damage, or he had to go through the collateral damage. Because in his mind, as I'm sure many other people's minds would be, Zod is a threat. If I take out the threat, then this will stop happening. And it was destruction. You know, if anything, it makes me wish that Batman versus Superman kind of focused a little more on the execution of it all, because Man of Steel really does set the precedent for the next film of we have now seen Kryptonians at their most devastating, and we have one who's saying he'll protect us. Like, how are we going to deal with that? And like that is, I think, the most important takeaway of that universe is that they're gods, and I think we needed movies to showcase the DC heroes as gods before we see them as, you know, approachable superheroes. And because it sets that tone for us as well. So I do appreciate how those ones kind of set that up, at least leading up until things went completely sideways. I really like how they established those characters as like godly, and yeah, you do look up to them because they are above you, but they're not trying to hurt you. But they never shy away from the fact of like, these guys could kill you in a blink of an eye. Like, won't get it twisted. So there's a lot that universe definitely didn't do correctly, but I think there's a lot of ideas that are salvageable from that universe. And I think Man of Steel was the step in a risky but necessary direction.
Yes, definitely. And then, I mean, now you have, you know, something like The Boys, which is probably, unfortunately, what would be a very accurate situation, which is corporations would be all over that.
They'd be trying to make it.
You know,
God, those suits are so good in The Boys.
I know. Yeah. For honestly though, like some shows have come out with some really, really, really great costume designs, even better than some film.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It makes me mad.
And
that
I think
heroes
it's just,
are the worst.
yeah, you can tell. I just feel like you can tell when, you know, the project heads actually, that's important to them.
Yes. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Aesthetically and just everything about it, you can tell. When, you know, and that's why I was getting like kind of worried there for a minute, you know, with Marvel, because they were going in a direction of CGI suits.
Yeah. Don't get me started on Spider-Man.
We both sighed. And so I'm like, no.
It was getting rough out there. Like,
it was getting rough out there. And I get it's necessary in some situations and scenes, but overall, like, no, you need to have the suit. Like, I feel like it's so important for an actor or actress to be able to put on a suit, a real suit that is the character. Like, that's the final, you know, cherry on top of their character. It's very important what their suit design is.
Yeah, it
always says so much about the character.
Absolutely. And
it tells a story.
It's the part of, like, you know, you can't really do the thing when you don't feel like you're in the thing. And I always get disheartened even though I can understand why from a comfort perspective in this instance,
Yeah.
I get disheartened when I watch, because I used to watch so much behind the scenes stuff when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I remember seeing Robert Downey Jr. in Iron Man 1, full practical Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
And you see the movie and the CG enhances the practicality.
Correct.
Fast forward to Civil War, and then it's like short or like chest up practical, and I'm like, okay, but I can see the floaty head action.
Yeah.
Fast forward to Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, and it's like no suit.
Nanotech. Yeah.
And then I'm just kind of like, but I can tell like there's a distinct moment. Like I will forever say that the CG and the MCU hit an unattainable peak in Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
I think Iron Man 3's CG,
Yes.
especially when Avengers Age of Ultron came right after it,
Yes.
Iron Man 3's CG is so, I don't know,
Crisp.
it's like visceral. Yeah, crisp. It's tangible. There's that grit. It doesn't feel, I don't know a better word, like floaty.
Yeah, like it's almost like floaty or I don't know if blurry is the right word.
I get what you mean.
It feels more like a wash
Mm-hmm.
of just, I don't know.
Like you can slide your hand across it and it just,
or I don't know. It just used to be so crispy.
mm-hmm. That
and
it
just
was like
so,
the sharpness was there.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I agree for sure. I think a lot of the visuals in Infinity War were amazing.
Oh yeah.
Like Doctor Strange's fight with Thanos was amazing visually. So there's so many great moments, but there were a few that were like.
And then you get to like the final fight in Black Panther, which should have been so much cool. Because I personally adore that Golden Jaguar design.
Yes.
It's so cool. I like the spotted texture that's just beneath, and I only noticed that because in the action figure it's very prevalent.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's you don't really
love that.
Get all of the detail, and that's when you start to have a little too much CGI that is just CGI. It's not like you said where it's enhancing something real.
Yeah.
But you miss all of that detail and importance. And that's why I think Chris Nolan is my favorite director, because he will not use CGI unless he absolutely has to.
I love when he did
almost to a fault maybe, but he's like, no, I want to actually blow up a real plane.
Yeah, I'm trying to actually do a Cyclops for Odysseus to fight.
Create an atomic reaction.
I love that meme when everyone's like, Christopher Nolan's going to actually just blow up an atomic bomb for the movie. Yeah. And part of me is like, is he though? Because like, I need to know where not to be. But no, I agree. Christopher Nolan is the king of just practical effects to the peak. Like, and like Dark Knight when he flips the semi, like, I mean, sure, I can see the air jet under the semi, but do I care? No, he flipped a freaking semi. Like, who cares? That's cool. That's movies right there. Like, I'm always gonna adore that because it makes the stakes feel much more tangible. And when he does use special effects, like in scenes I've seen for like Tenet, that is, again, I think CG should always be an enhancer of practical. I do not think it should take place of it unless you're making The Thing or The Hulk.
Correct.
At which point, emotion and all of that is where it comes into play, and that's a whole other thing. But
I think Jon Favreau said that when he was making the first Iron Man movie. I think that's literally what he said, and I was like, that guy gets it.
He gets it. Like, of course he gets it. He knew what he had. Iron Man was such a risk, and he's like, if it's a risk, let's play with it.
Yeah. Like, but look at it, look at how it turned out. I mean, what would you say are some of your favorite suit designs on characters from the Marvel universe?
Counting the shows or not counting the shows?
Absolutely counting the shows. That's part of the MCU.
Okay. All right. Here I go. This is a good question. And I love getting asked questions just as much as I love asking them. I'm literally looking at my box of Marvel Legends right now. Like, all right, what's sticking out of the box that I can see? Okay, so I absolutely adore the Eternal suits. The texturing of the different fabrics with the plating, the way that it feels like manufactured biblical, I guess is the best way I can put it.
Yeah, yeah.
I absolutely adore. I love Eternal.
Like it's materials that don't exist on Earth.
Yes, and the way
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, yeah.
form fitting and how it's tailored to each character. It's like Power
Mhm.
Rangers in a way, and not
Mhm.
just because of the colors.
Mhm.
So I love Eternals. I love the No Way Home ending suit. I know
Yeah.
it's CG, but man, I love that reflective blue. Captain
Okay.
America's Endgame suit is one
Yep.
of my most favorites.
Yep.
Um, oh gosh, I love Wolverine's suit in Deadpool and Wolverine. The texturing on that
Yeah.
is
They
phenomenal,
did such
which,
a great job with it.
and I think that texturing leads me to that I love the Born Again suit for similar reasons. I do think the eyes are a little big, but overall, like I think it's a step in the right direction. But then
Mhm.
Muse is way better. See, now I'm just going on a tangent. Um,
No, no, no. You're fine.
uh, I love Moon Knight. Moon Knight's suit is amazing. I
Yeah.
love WandaVision's
I
Scarlet.
don't like that they use so much CGI.
It ruins. I
That
like the tattering of the
like, come on.
wraps over the
Yeah.
armor. Like, ugh. I love that they
Yeah.
made a whole language to put onto the suit. They use
Yeah.
hieroglyphics to
Like
make
what?
more hieroglyphics. Like
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
Wiccan. I really, really, really like Wiccan's
Yeah.
suit. I
Yeah.
remember telling my fiance, I hope they do the galaxy print on his sides. I'm a big Wiccan fan. And
They
then
do kind of have it, and
yeah,
they also have like almost, I guess not runes, but they do, and that's it's so much detail you
the
can't
tape,
see.
his mom and his
Yeah,
dad, like,
I
oh,
know.
I'm
I
I'm in
know.
love with that. Trying to
Yes.
think of what else. Because now it's like favorite suits versus suit design. Captain Marvel, we talked about Captain Marvel from the Marvels. I love that design. I try to think of
Yeah.
like the action figures I go back to. That's one of them.
Yeah.
Guardians 3, Star-Lord.
Mm.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Abnett and Lanning suit design being brought into fruition.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, Black Widow at the end of Black Widow with the gold. Like when it's the
Uh-huh.
most comic accurate. I really
Yeah.
like that one.
Yeah.
Shoot. I'm sitting here and it's like oh man, these designs are terrible. He's got the worst taste. No,
No.
I'm trying to think what other Fantastic Four suits I have fallen in love with. I have like
For the new movie.
yeah, like I have them all like on my floor still.
Yeah.
Like I love the texturing. I love like for example with this one in particular, I love how for those listening, I'm holding the Johnny Storm action figure. I forgot that this is also audio. I love how the sweater lines when he flames on become the lines from Jack Kirby's art. I think
Mm.
that is just the most inspired way to go about it. But
Yeah.
I don't know. At this point, again, I feel like I'm rambling, but those are some
No.
costume designs I adore. And Amazing Spider-Man 2, I guess you can count that
Oh
as
yeah.
MCU.
Hands
That's
down.
my favorite Spider-Man suit. Favorite Spider-Man. Doesn't matter. Don't care what anyone says.
No. It is.
Oh man. I think off the top of my head, I'm sure you'll say more because I'm about to throw the question right back to you. I'm say more that'll make me go, oh yeah. Civil War, Black Panther, I love. But yeah, Black
Yeah. Yeah.
Panther.
Definitely.
I'm gonna say that's everything just to stop myself. But like I said, if you say anything more, I'm gonna agree. Like,
No, I mean, I think again,
I have two more and then I'm done.
yeah, as far as, for Captain Marvel, everything that they have come out with has been incredible. I mean, the original from the first film is so good.
So good.
Good. I'm a big fan of the sash.
I'm
always pro sash. And I think that if they would have incorporated some kind of sash with her new suit from the Marvels, it would have been like
peak.
boom.
Absolutely. That's why you like the Endgame suit so much, isn't it?
That's why I like the Endgame suit so much, because it has the sash. It still has the belt, but it also has the sash built in with the belt. And I was like,
sash is key.
Yes, the sash is key. Yeah, I just remember watching Endgame for the first time, and kind of when it cuts forward some years and she has her short hair and the new suit, I was like,
where'd that come from?
What? Because I think they just changed the coloring, because I think when they filmed it was still The
Oh yeah, you're
the
right.
red on top and the blue on the bottom, and
Yeah.
then they changed it. So that was interesting. But
Hmm.
the design, but the design itself with the blue and the red, like it's I just think it's so cool. It's so kind of different. And then now that we have her suit in the Marvels, it's kind of continuing that, blue
Yeah.
on top, red, that kind of look.
The
So
suit from
it's kind of cool.
what's the name of the planet that they got that suit from? I cannot remember. Starts with
Oh
an A,
gosh.
right?
I think it starts with an A.
I keep wanting to call it like Atlan, but that's just
I
close.
know.
That's just Aquaman's dad.
Yeah, Aquaman's dad. Yeah.
What the heck was it? Oh my god.
I know
We're gonna take our card.
Aladna or something.
Aladna, that's right. That's right. Yep.
Marvels.
You got it. It's Aladna.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Where am I pulling that from? Yeah. Yeah, where they sing.
Yep. That's the one.
Yeah.
They got some great
Yeah.
costume designers in that planet though. Holy cow, that Captain Marvel suit is so good.
Yeah,
So
it is. And Photon, I thought she looked great. And
okay,
then Miss Marvel. What's that?
So you call her Photon. I never know. I personally don't know. I think
I don't
she is
know.
Photon canonically.
I mean, I don't think it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's one of her names, but and then Miss Marvel, I actually think that her design by the end of her show was perfect.
Absolutely. I love that design.
And her new one that she gets in the Marvels, I don't hate it, but I really wish she would have had more time with her classic
I agree.
look or something more like that. But
yep.
Again, after seeing those suits in person, like there's all these patterns on Miss Marvel's fabrics that you just don't see. It's just crazy. You just see red, but if you look at it in person, like there's all these little symbols on it. It's just crazy. But yeah, I would say, yeah, I mean, Captain Marvel, the first movie, her suit was definitely something that made me want to really cosplay.
It's a one.
I would say
such a good suit.
I was like, I need to get that suit. And at the time, there were some people that were kind of like making it and putting it on Etsy and things like that. And some shops that were making it. So that was probably like the first, high quality suit that I invested in, because I was like, I have to do it. And I mean, it was before the movie even came out. So that really sent me on a deep dive of all of that for sure. I think, I love Thor, so I'm just trying to think. I mean, I still really like the first Thor movie. I mean,
it's good.
Is it like spectacular? No, but it did so many things well. I'm trying to think. I mean, in Infinity War, Thor is like
peak
top.
That's pretty good.
That's that. Let's get back to that.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about that design. It's like the ultimate.
It's just,
I have reached my pinnacle, but I'm still in mourning kind of suit.
Yeah.
And it's like
same thing with Captain America, like the beard and everything. And in Infinity War, like everything in Infinity War, like, just everybody in Infinity War.
Everyone dressed to the nines for the end of the world.
Yeah, that's Infinity War, just everybody for me, I think. Yeah. Doctor Strange's costume is fantastic.
How do you prefer his costume in Multiverse of Madness, because that one's a little more comic accurate, or do you prefer just his typical robes from the other films?
I mean, I don't know if I prefer one over the other. I mean, I think they both
I'm so weird
are
like
great. Yeah, I mean, I think they're both great. I definitely liked Multiverse of Madness. I think it was really great. And like his, definitely. yeah, they've done a really great job with Doctor Strange for sure.
Mhm.
It's just kind of funny thinking back to you know, I know you mentioned Wolverine and Deadpool and Wolverine, and I think they talked about this as well, which is, you know, him being part of that kind of some of that original Marvel cinematic
Yeah,
kind of before Iron Man, all of that.
the
And
Bronze Age, I call it.
yeah, you know, with Blade and all of that. Um, it's funny how, and I think they reference at the time, The Matrix was such a big inspiration,
Mhm.
and just like the leather and the you know all of
Goodness.
that stuff. So it's just kind of funny looking back at some of those original um designs for
Yeah.
characters compared to what we have now, which is so funny that we were kind of, I think, directors and they're all like, oh, we really need to pull from the comics more.
Mhm. Yeah, like,
Yeah,
I think
maybe
these
you
things are
should.
saying something.
Yeah, maybe you should pull from what you're basing this whole thing off of, you
Maybe we
know,
didn't
and
want to
like,
come off of the cartoon to see biker suits.
yeah,
I don't know. What do I know?
right.
I shouldn't have gotten
So,
the first comic accurate suit with X-Men 3 Beast.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, and I feel like it would be interesting. I'm just thinking of this. I don't know if I've ever. It'd be interesting. I wish they would bring more of the comic artists into the process.
Mm, yeah.
I know that they consult them, but I feel like they should be people that are on set more
Hmm.
and also part of the press touring
Yeah. That was great.
alongside with everybody.
Yeah.
And it kind of always makes me sad that a lot of them don't go to these premiere events. They're kind of
And they
not
should.
part, they're not part of the conversation as much as they should be. But it would be interesting to talk to some of these artists and kind of get their opinions on, oh, hey, it looks like, you know, they drew inspiration from your design from that
Mhm.
comic run. You know, what do you think about that? What is it like to see a character that you know, put so much time and effort and thought and passion into a particular design? What is it like to see that coming to
Yeah.
life
And so
in a real
many.
person? Like, that's so interesting to me.
Yeah. And so many designs are like Guardians of the Galaxy 3, probably my biggest
Yeah,
example, are almost ripped straight from the comic.
right,
And I
right.
know that that doesn't always happen as much as it used to anymore, but like that is one
Sometimes it's just
instance.
hard. It's hard to make it work. You
I
know,
know, but
anything animated is hard to
yes.
make work live action sometimes.
Like I'm kind of glad the Spider-Verse is where it's at because that's not been always
Mm,
the same in live action. But then I also think
yeah.
like when the X-Men do come into play,
Hmm.
how are they going to do Jean? Because the X-Men animated series Jean, the 90s era Jean is one of the weird, like when I was a kid, I
Yeah,
couldn't tell if
yeah,
she was half naked or not because I
yeah.
didn't, my young brain couldn't differentiate color tone. So like,
Right,
how
right.
are they going to make, like, is that the one they'd use? Or would they use a Phoenix suit? Like, I mean, thank God X-Men have a million different suits they can go choose from, but
Yes,
those are the
yes.
questions. Like you know, this is a weird shout out, but I did like how they ended Apocalypse with those X-Men suits. For the 5 seconds we saw them, I was like, Cyclops looks cool, finally.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
But
mean, it
yeah,
looks like we're probably going to get comic,
if
very
Gambit
comic
was any
Cyclops and
indicator,
Doomsday.
I'm gonna cry.
Again, we're gonna get what they did with Wolverine and Deadpool
Yeah,
Wolverine, which is like the coloring, everything is going to be very, very comic
yeah,
based, which
and
is
I'm
kind of cool.
very, very
Yeah,
happy about that. Um,
yeah,
I did want to go back to your Thor costume question because I don't know if this
yeah,
will like help for if you had any other ideas, but I my personal favorite Thors besides Infinity War Thor is the beginning of Ragnarok. I like when he's in his leather,
yeah,
but
yeah.
then evolving that further, I really enjoyed Love and Thunder's suit before his Walt Simonson inspired one, where he's got like the fur
Right.
collar. I think
Yes.
if you take out the fur collar and keep that gold trim,
Mm-hmm.
that to me is like your default Thor suit. Like that is what
Yes.
Thor should always wear
Correct.
now.
Yes.
Those are probably my favorite looks for Thor because I completely forgot about Thor entirely.
Right, right. Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, I wasn't too much of a fan of the blue and
The spirit
I
was there, but
I
they
don't
lost
know.
it. I always say it would have worked better if it was a suit that was a product of the Thunderbolt.
Got it.
Like I don't know,
Yeah.
like because like you know how he gets Mjolnir and then suit, and then you get Stormbreaker and badass suit.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I wish that Thunderbolt, considering it seems like the Greek gods were so colorful and ostentatious and gaudy, like I would have thought the Thunderbolt making that super colorful 80s inspired armored suit would have made more sense than just like, boom, I had the suit the whole time. I think people would have accepted it a little bit more. It's not my favorite, and by and large, it's just not my favorite.
Yeah.
I like the colors because I like colors, but all in all, it's
Right,
not.
right.
I think they could have done more, but then that goes back to the nanotech argument that they have so much with those. You know, personally, if it makes sense, keep it. That was one of those instances where maybe we can just have them take the helmet off.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would have also helped people accept that particular suit a lot more.
Right.
But all in all, I think when things don't have an origin, even suits,
Yes.
it just doesn't click. It's not going to click
Correct.
because you're just being told this is it now. And why?
Exactly. Exactly. And that's why I think Captain Marvel's, here I go again, Captain Marvel's suits work because it originally was a Kree soldier
Yep.
uniform.
Mm-hmm.
And then she started to evolve, and you're watching her character evolve and find out who she is, who she really is, and who she wants to be. She is a pilot, you know, so I think it'll be cool to see kind of where they take it. I was a little ticked that they have not mentioned her at all yet for Doomsday, and I would like to think that she'll be in it in some capacity. And I know that they haven't, you know, finished. That we don't have the full
There's way more chairs left.
lineup yet. Whatever.
Her not being there first feels mean.
Well, because leading up to Endgame, they really started to try to kind of start the narrative of like she will become a leader of the Avengers. Like, but then you know you get where we are now, which is just unnecessary hate and you know all that stuff. But
causes retcons and redirection, which messes up timings of narratives and so on. All I know is that Carol Danvers needs to be on Sam's Avengers team.
Right.
That's it.
That's all I want.
That's all we need. I do like how you brought back, like, because this actually will lead in my next question if you hear.
Okay.
In terms of color theory, I like how you explain the origin of Captain Marvel, because not only is the color design reminiscent of like I think the old pre-Air Force like badges, because I love military history too because of my dad. But also if you get into like really deep color theory, which I could be stretching here, I think I know what I'm talking about. I hope I do. But like the red and blue is like, you know, her head and her heart, like the human parts of her kind of reflect the otherwise cold, like green and silver and gray of the Kree. And so a lot of the origin of those colors in that suit, not only is it reminiscent of her past, but also she was looking at Monica's shirt when she made the colors. But like, I think she was.
Yes.
It's been a while.
Yes.
But like thematically, I could see them being like, you know, red is leading with your heart, blue is leading with your head. She's got both of those. She's got the yellow. Like I can see some color theory kind of justifying the color palette beyond she's a legacy from the comics. So I appreciate how well that those movies, when they do it, and because then you can read into it, whether you're right or wrong, it enhances your experience, and that's the most important thing.
Right.
But you know, because we went back to Captain Marvel, I have to ask, you know, when you were younger, getting into comics, or whenever you got into comics, because I know I didn't get into them fully until I was in high school, but I loved them from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So was Captain Marvel like the one that kind of hooked you into the world, or was that the one that you, or like what was your start with superheroes and entertainment?
I think it kind of happened simultaneously. I wouldn't say when I was younger that I would just have comics that I would read. I know I definitely would watch the animated shows, Justice League show and all of that stuff. So that was probably, as far as part of my childhood. And then I feel like even when the MCU started kicking up, like even when the first Iron Man started coming out, like I knew of the character, but at the time I wasn't like, oh wow, Iron Man. I was kind of delayed on that. And even getting to the first Thor movie, I didn't watch that until it was way out of theaters.
Oh, really?
I watched it at a friend's house and I really loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh wow. So that kind of made me go back and
it.
like, okay, wait, I should probably rewatch, the first Iron Man and rewatch all of these X-Men movies and everything. So definitely film played a big part. And like, okay, wait, now that I'm loving these characters, then it made me go back and, research and look at, the different comic runs and their history and everything. So, but then, when the first Captain Marvel movie was kind of starting to come out, I already loved Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
So, that was a special movie to come out. I love what they did with her design as well. And so that's a whole other category, which is DC costume design.
Oh boy. Yeah, you're right.
A whole other.
We'll get there for sure.
It's different. So I remember for Marvel, at least, I appreciated Black Widow. I just never really felt much of an emotional connection with the character. But then I remember when they started coming out with, kind of teasers and stuff for Captain Marvel and everything. I don't know what it was. I just kind of fell in love with the design and her powers, and it kind of sent me on a deep dive of who the character was and her history.
Yeah.
And I just fell in love with the character. Yeah. I would say, it's so interesting to see the differences between what Marvel has done with their character designs versus DC. It's just so interesting.
They are very divergent in that regard, but I do totally agree with like your journey into the world of fandom. Like for me, it was the cartoon movies for sure. However, it was also buying action figures, the old Marvel Legends that came with the comics. That was what I would like learn. I'd pick up randoms. Like when I was a kid, I love Ghost Rider now. When I was a kid, I got my first Ghost Rider figure, and they used to have the bio on the back. And I didn't understand the term "when innocent blood is spilt." I didn't realize he was supernatural. So I was so thinking Marvel was science that I'm like,
right.
Like some like scientific thing that he got caught in and turned him into a flaming skull man. Weird, but cool. So I learned a lot from those. The Ultimate Alliance video game, that was a big proponent of me getting into more characters. Like I didn't even and I'm sure you can feel the same. Like growing up on Marvel movies that were mediocre and not connected, I thought Iron Man was just a better not connected movie, and I didn't know there was an after credits until the home video release.
Right.
And then when Hulk came out, I was like, "Ooh, Hulk movie! I love those."
Right.
Again, didn't realize it was connected till Tony Stark walked in, and then I was like, "Wait a second, what's happening?
What's cooking here?" Yeah,
exactly. So it was a weird like conditioning, but it's funny that you mention the differences between Marvel and DC, because if you go back to Christopher Reeve, that was just the suit, and then you go to like the Batman movies, and from Joel Schumacher, he wanted them to feel like Greek gods, which pretty cool perception. Didn't last or resonate as well as we had hoped. Right. And For my money's worth, aside from the Ben Affleck suit, I love Batman Begins. The Batman Begins outfit. I think that was peak. I wish it didn't change, but that's just and yeah, I mean, suit design with DC is so interesting because it is really all over the place. Like even trying to get into
It is.
of it is like what history? Like all I can say without a shadow of a doubt is that the weirdest spot to find the best costume design for me was Doom Patrol and Titans.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
Yeah.
Titans really like part of the reason I don't love Titans. Like I feel like I have to say that to everyone before they take my fan card away. I don't love Titans. I like the first 2 seasons, but then
Yeah.
when I think harder about it, I only like them because my God, those suit designs were so good. That's the best looking Deathstroke I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like so
Yeah.
that on my front, those are probably my like what's the best costumes in DC properties? I would say Doom Patrol and Titans, but like you said, their costumes are so over the place. Like Wonder Woman's is fantastic, Aquaman's is fantastic, like Batman,
Yeah.
Superman. Like I don't know, my brain's hurting
I
thinking about it.
know. Well, and again, you know, I am a Zack Snyder fan, but I just I really appreciated, like you said, I think it, like what you said about the Eternals. I think they should have some kind of otherworldly quality to them, and I think he understood that.
Yeah,
and the costume designer understood that. You know, with Man of Steel, the Kryptonian armor looked like some kind of like rock material that doesn't exist on Earth, and the way that it was shaped and everything was so cool. So cool. Loved it. Yeah, with Wonder Woman, I think having it be very armored makes so much sense.
Yeah.
And it gives her that, yeah, but I mean, it gives her that, like, yeah, she is, you know, part of this God legacy.
Yeah.
You know, with the Amazons and like all the Amazons, you know, Queen Hippolyta, her armor was stunning. I've cosplayed her.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Hippolyta.
She's awesome.
Yeah, so good. So good. And then even with, I prefer Zack Snyder's Atlantean look, which is like so
had like an armored kind of like
so sick.
Yeah.
Like Mara. Yeah, another one that I was like, have to do that.
Yeah.
And just like the dark, like like if you're in the ocean, like if you're in the depths of the ocean, it's gonna be
dark,
very dark, and like they kind of made him look like it's kind of a lot of ruins, which is cool, which makes so much sense. But then you jump to the Aquaman movies,
yeah,
and it's so futuristic looking.
It's very
and it's colorful, and it's there's very light, and it's just kind of interesting.
Especially when you watch Wakanda Forever and you compare that Atlantis to Talokan, and Talokan feels like what you just said, like dark. It should be darker.
It's ancient. The ocean should be an ancient place. It should
be like space, like just uncharted territory.
Correct.
So yeah, I get that.
Yeah, so that was kind of like a wild jump. It was just kind of funny, you know, again with Mara's character. You're like, wait, didn't she have a British accent?
Then you watch Zack Snyder's Justice League, and you're like, I knew she did.
This like incredibly detailed, armored fish scale suit to just this blue, you know, very.
No, I agree. Because for me, growing up, I mean, like color-wise, I can see why they went with the newer Mara design. However, growing up, I think in my head, especially with the tiara, Mara always was, I guess without even knowing, I think I gravitated towards the original design of Mara because it felt like Mara. Like I always knew that she was a badass. I always knew she was cool. Not being a big DC reader, I didn't know all she did, but that look felt very Mara to me. And I think that one of the things, like touching on what you said with the other suits too, what I like about the DCEU era of costumes is that, and I wish they had shown a scene of Bruce like working on his traditional like suit, because it would have made my point make more sense. But they all feel different but the same, in the same way the Avengers did, where like Superman's is Kryptonian undersheath that he's using as kind of an armor. Wonder Woman's is Greek-inspired Amazonian armor that's probably seen centuries of battle. Batman is the man who made the suit. And then Aquaman is like this ancient, forgotten time of armor. And then the Flash is just like hodgepodge. Like it's put together because he's not there yet. I liked and then of course Cyborg is just the mother box. Again, when you talk CG, I hate to say it, I don't always put it into the conversation because I'm just like, it could be anything, whatever the creators decide. But it is mother box inspired. It's Apocalypse. It's still cool. But I like how each of the suits come from different places, and there is no true through line of logic for them all, because there shouldn't be, and that's what makes it interesting. So that was something I always gravitated towards, and I hope that these new movies do in some capacity, because I think that when it came to the looks of these characters in those movies, it really was something else. And like you said,
100%. Yeah, that's why I'm really curious to see what they do with Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
because there's so many different ways that they can go. My favorite Wonder Woman design is, I think, New 52.
That's a good
Bloodlines, the blue, silver.
Yeah,
it's so good.
I like that one a lot. That was my first Wonder Woman action figure when I was a kid.
Oh, really?
I used to collect the DC Universe Classics action figures, which were much harder to find growing up because collectors ate those up. And I was like 11, so I couldn't do anything. But I did collect them, especially like when I got a job and I was making my own money. I'd go on eBay and get other ones. But my first Wonder Woman I got for Christmas was New 52 era Wonder Woman. And I had that one. I still have that one somewhere for years. And I think that the silver, especially for introducing the character, I think the silver is good because, I don't know, and maybe it makes sense, maybe it doesn't, but I think silver is cool when she's just a warrior who is Wonder Woman. But then I feel like the gold should almost symbolize her ascension into being a hero. Like maybe like a transition almost. Like which is basically my dumb logic way of saying I want both really bad in a movie. I just give me silver and give me gold, because I feel like it would all look cool. The New 52 design is, and like even like the silver like choker thing she had with the silver braces and the way that it's all and this is
tied together.
The lines that are like on the corset area, I don't know why, but I think those are such a cool touch to her outfit. So New 52
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's why I was so mad that we got such little screen time with the Golden Eagle armor. I was like, oh, okay.
That would have been. I mean, I hate to say it, but that was kind of Wonder Woman 84 for me in a nutshell. I'm a big Cheetah fan. Cheetah's my favorite Wonder Woman.
I know.
And when they Riddlered her, I was so mad.
I know. Yeah, it was. I think it was just too many things going on in that one film, and they should have just focused on Cheetah.
I was about to say, I'll trade that on board for Cheetah.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't. Yeah, like I
like Pedro, but I'll trade him real quick for a chick that turns into a cat monster. Just saying.
Yeah, like that's such a great Wonder Woman villain. Like, but. Anyways, but
another conversation for another time.
Well, I don't know, but so I know that you mentioned that you were inspired by the Amazing Spider-Man films with Andrew Garfield. I totally understand that, and I think it's cool that you touched on, kind of the Peter Parker. Elements to him were very important in those films. Oh yeah, and his style and his look. And you said that that's something that you felt like you could, kind of emulate.
It was too easy, weirdly enough. Like
but that's the thing, though. But that's the question. It's something that I think about a lot, because when it comes to cosplay, like I said, I think back to my own experience, which is sometimes your introduction into the world.
Yeah.
You think, oh man, I can't do it. I can't, make this crazy stuff, or I can't afford this, or I can't. It's kind of overwhelming.
It can be.
Because especially nowadays, because of all of the, amazing resources that we have with it now. And I'm not dogging that. I'm just saying, I'm just thinking back to my experience. If I were to kind of approach it now, I would be overwhelmed and think kind of off the bat, oh man, like, how do I even,
it's a whole
how do
thing.
I even do it? How do I even do this?
Yeah.
And I think most people, including myself, would be like, it's actually really simple at its heart. You don't have to, some people off the bat be like, I want to make a whole, I don't know,
a working Iron Man suit.
Yeah, I want to, it's like, whoa, like you can absolutely do that, but you don't have to. And so like I would say the scale of what you're doing doesn't negate your, experience. Like, if you want to cosplay Peter Parker, that is cosplay. You're trying to draw inspiration from this character that means so much to you. So I would definitely say for people, if they're interested in it at all, you have to start with the characters that you love and that mean the most to you, because it doesn't matter how the execution of it is. People will see that come through. You can tell when someone is extremely passionate about the character itself. Nothing to do with the design of it. When they love the character, you can see that come through very clearly.
For sure.
And again, I think, cons are the best way to meet other people. It gives you that instant connection, when you see somebody that may be dressed up in the same character as you or from the same fandom. A lot of times, again, I think the Marvel Universe has really connected so many people because, you go to cons and, someone might be in Captain America dressed up like Captain America. Then someone pops up dressed up like Thor. Oh, we should get a picture together. And it's just really cool to like watch those type of interactions and to see people's faces light up when they, start to kind of, and so all of the, kind of maybe insecurities or social anxieties kind of fade away very quickly. And it's just such a cool thing to watch and experience for yourself, because I think we're all like that. I mean, I think most people that, go to these types of events are actually probably introverted and, may have some anxiety or it might feel overwhelming, but it's just such a great space to kind of help you push through those and just meet people that could become lifelong friends, more so outside of that world, just, great friends.
Absolutely. It's
in general.
The fandom and community, it brings people together, and that's important stuff that I think a lot of people should hear. So I appreciate you saying that. I'm sure there's someone out there that's going to be like, well, it's time to be Doomsday.
Yeah, I mean, I think, just do it. And I mean, I always have to tell myself that as well, because even after, like I said, it was kind of around COVID that I really became like serious about it and wanting to really go somewhere. That was crazy enough, 5 years ago. So, I mean, 5 years in and I'm still like, okay, what are you holding back on? Like, if you want to do that character, just do it. There's no reason why you can't, you just have to figure it out and not be so worried about. I think now I've tried to really prioritize what is most important to me. What's most important to me is that I'm happy when I'm doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it becomes like, oh, I mean, like I'm stressing and I'm trying to meet this unattainable deadline that I'm putting on myself and these unrealistic expectations that I'm putting on myself, then I'm like, okay, got to take a step back, reevaluate, always ask, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this?
Good. Yeah, that's true.
You know, so that's what's become most important to me. What also is most important to me is that I never lose sight of what it's really about,
Hmm.
which is fandom and people. So I never want to get to a point where I'm so mentally delusioned that I'm, like, oh, I'm judging other people, or I'm, you know, it's really not that, I'm not a celebrity. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, I mean, I think it has, it's kind of a similar thing with, social media influencing. It's like, we're not really celebrities. I'm not trying to influence anybody. Like, we
Yeah.
need to uplift people.
Oh, when
And
you
we
put it
need
that way too, I'm
to,
realizing influencer. Like,
like,
yeah,
I hate that word.
yeah. Oh,
It's so
wow.
strange. It's such a freaking marketing scheme. Like, it's such a, and it's crazy because it's almost like, I don't know. It's yeah. So that's a tough part with me, and that's kind of, kind of another interesting conversation, which is cosplay and how it works
Yeah.
specifically in the social media world. Because on one end, it was the tool that has connected me with all of these people, and I will
Hmm.
forever be grateful for that. And again, it's kind of like the butterfly effect. It's kind of like, if I didn't create an account and start posting pictures,
Hmm.
then I wouldn't know these people, which is such a wild, crazy thing to think back on. Like, man, how much my life would be different.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't be talking to you right now because
Yeah.
I wouldn't have met Liz, and I wouldn't probably be pushing to move here, and I wouldn't have, gone to
Well,
Epic Universe at that
yeah.
time. So it's kind
Very
of
true.
crazy, but and then especially for me, something that I'm passionate about is, when it comes to different body types,
Hmm.
that cosplay, there's no requirement
Yeah.
for
Oh,
that. You can
absolutely.
absolutely, like, no, we're not gonna fricking look like, you know, Chris Hem or Chris Hemsworth or Chris Evans, or, that's like, they've gone through crazy training
No
and
one
regimen.
probably should look like that without training.
Yeah, like, you're not going to look exactly like it. And I understand that, when you kind of open yourself up to the social media world, that there are going to be people that post and comment,
Yeah.
stupid stuff, crazy stuff. And I've had to deal with that and be like, okay, do I just want to turn the comments off? Do I just want to delete them? Do I respond? Do I even
Hmm.
feed into all that? Do I let it get to me? So I get it. Like, it's tough. And a lot of times, especially with characters like superhero characters, where, their physique is very, like crazy,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, well, should I even cosplay that character? Because I don't look like that at all. But it's like, yeah, you should. You can.
That's
Why not? Like,
what it's
why not?
about. Hmm.
Yeah, why not? You know, why can't you put your own elements
Yeah.
into something? Like,
Yeah. And it's like, and people aren't paying anyone to be these characters.
right.
No
Well, some
one's,
people do get, well,
some people
some
do,
people
but I mean,
do, which
like
is
in a movie
crazy. Yeah.
space, it's like no one's saying,
No.
"Hey, you're gonna be the next Superman," or
Correct.
like you're gonna be the next like Thor, and it's me. Like, no, we're doing it because like people want to do it because it's fun and it's an
Yeah.
expression of someone they like, and they should never. You're right. They should never feel like they can't. And it's like they never feel it off cuff, but then they should always remind themselves, you're not getting paid to be these characters in a movie. Have
Yeah.
fun. It's
It's
okay. People who are mean suck. End of discussion.
right. It is going to exist. And it just means that you just have to find your people.
Yeah.
is what it means. And like I said, I've never had any kind of scenario at a con where that's happened to me. I'm sure other people have, which is sad, but I haven't. You know, I've kind of had, well, you know, unfortunately, women specifically, or well, actually anyone, honestly, people kind of don't realize personal space and boundaries. You know, when they want to, you know, someone wants to take a picture with you and then they start putting their, you know, it's like,
a little uncomfortable.
Okay. You know, so it's kind of, you know, it kind of can get a little awkward in those kind of scenarios. But again, I think for the most part, I've never felt unsafe, or unaccepted, or, you know, because again, most people, like the comic artists, love when people are cosplaying their characters. Voice actors, oh man, that's so, you know what I mean, like actors, they love it, you know, so that's really cool too, to meet people that have played these characters.
Absolutely.
And like, you know, like meeting Brie Larson was so major.
I can only imagine. And
she was so nice, very down to earth, very appreciative, and just seemed genuinely happy to interact with people.
That's great.
And I love that. Yeah, she because I told her, I said, you know, Captain Marvel has been such an inspiration to me, like what you've done with the character, and, you know, just you yourself. And she was like, everything that you think you see in me is in you.
Oh,
I was like, I'm gonna walk away now. I'm like, people came up to me, they're like, are you okay? I'm like, no. I just talked to Brie Larson, and this is what she told me just now. So
Captain Marvel just gave me life advice. I need to sit.
Yeah, so, but I think it was important for me to hear that on multiple levels, because one, you know, it means a lot coming from her.
Yeah.
Two, what she said is something that I should believe. And three, she reminded me that she's not better than anyone else.
Yeah.
Just because of the position that she's in. So it was such like a multi-level experience.
That's like that's the quote right there.
Yeah. Wow. So, and that's another cool thing about cons is, you know, it's an opportunity that you would normally never get to meet, you know, these people.
Sure. Yeah.
It's very, very cool.
That's how I met Sam Raimi, was at a con, and it was fantastic.
Yeah. So another funny Sam Raimi story. So another cool thing with cosplay, you know, nowadays is sometimes you can go to these premieres, you know, when they start touring, and they, you know, they do fan events and things like that. So one of my first experiences was the Multiverse of Madness premiere in Los Angeles. All thank you to one of our friends who was able to, you know, help me attend. So it was completely on him. And you know, after me bugging him about it, but you know, Sam Raimi was kind of walking by, and they kind of had like a cosplay fan section where we kind of had a barricade, and we were all dressed up.
Yeah. And
they did give us posters, and a friend of mine, I didn't bring any Sharpies. I was so like all over the place, and gave me a Sharpie. Sam Raimi started coming up, and I was like, oh, can he sign my poster? The frickin' Sharpie wouldn't work.
Oh no.
The look of disappointment that he gave me. I think he was joking. but the look of disappointment, I was like panicking. I was like, does anyone have another Sharpie? He looked at me like, why would you give me the Sharpie that doesn't work? I'm sorry, Sam Raimi.
Oh my goodness, that's funny.
So eventually got one that worked, and he signed my poster, and so that was really cool to meet him. You know, because that was such a big part of our childhood as well, as the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, you know. So it's just kind of cool to think back on all these different micro universes within,
Yeah.
like
It all comes
it's
full
just
circle.
yeah, it's just very cool. But yeah, that was awesome. And then for Deadpool and Wolverine, they did it in New York
Mm-hmm.
instead of Los Angeles. So that was really cool. And my husband and I were both able to go to that one. That was his first experience.
Oh, so cool.
And yeah, it's a long day. It's exhausting. You get there in the morning, kind of wait around, and then they have to get you checked in. They kind of put you where they want all the fans to be, and then you kind of wait for the cast and the crew to start arriving. So it's kind of like a 12-hour day when you're in costume.
That's such a long day to hurry up and wait.
Hot and yeah, but it's cool because then you get to watch the film with the cast and the crew, which is a really special experience.
Yeah.
To kind of hear their reactions, and they're seeing the final product for the first time.
Yeah.
And
I want to do that so bad.
you're with all these cosplayers, and they obviously love these films and these characters. So definitely watching it and with that, hearing people's reactions while watching the movie compared to like a regular movie theater experience, it's just, there's no comparison.
Well, the cheering and clapping, I'm sure, makes way more sense because the people in it are right there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
yeah,
so
yeah, it's just, it kind of all feeds into each other, I think. Most people that are cosplayers obviously love probably movies.
Mm-hmm.
They love art, they love comics, they love animation. It all feeds into each other, and I think it definitely makes sense. Now that we live in this area, it definitely has inspired me to put together different looks and stuff that I can wear to the parks as well, because you can't wear like a full
it's hot out there
at the parks. You could get in trouble.
Oh yeah.
Except for certain events. But I know, I'm trying to think, because I've never been to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. So I'm trying to think what I would want to do for that. I'm like, oh man, I'm like, it's kind of one of those opportunities where you can be in full costume and be in the park, take cool photos and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying to think, because I did make Captain Marvel's suit from the Marvels.
Yeah.
So
that
awesome. would be one that would be pretty comfortable and practical. Like I could get on rides. I'm like, yeah, wait, I have to wear something that I can actually.
Yo, Captain Marvel on Tron, though? That would be sick.
I know, that's what I was thinking too.
That would be so cool.
That would be cool. Yeah, so I think that's kind of what I'm gearing towards. And I'm trying to see if I have the I don't know if I have it in here, but I have I bought the like a Cosmorod from they had them in Epcot when you get off of Guardians.
Yeah.
The Marvel store. They have like all the relics. They have the arc reactor.
Yeah, I have that one.
I
have that one. I have
and then they have a hammer, like a Kree hammer, and you can put the Infinity Stone.
They have Ronin's hammer now?
Uh-huh.
Oh
I don't know if they still do. I don't know if they still do, but at one point in time they did. And I was like,
okay.
I kind of want it. So
oh my God. So,
yeah.
All right.
I haven't seen it recently, but they might still have some. And then they, because sometimes they'll have stuff at the Marvel store, Disney Springs. Yeah. But I was like, oh wait, I kind of have to buy that, because that would be that would go with my Captain Marvel cosplay.
Like easy justification.
And I was like, I'll just use my pass holder discount. It's fine.
No big deal.
But yeah, it lights up. It like makes swishy sounds.
Oh man, that is
I was
so
like,
cool.
That'd be cool if I could wear my Captain Marvel suit from the Marvels, and then I would have the Cosmorod with me. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, because I'm going to start asking, like for our last segment here with theme parks, before I ask anything about that, I have to ask, what's your favorite cosplay? Because my personal favorite of yours is either Tonks or your trench coat Rogue. I think trench coat Rogue is, I love that look. So I thought that was really sick when I saw those. But I'm wondering, what's your favorite? Like the one that you're like, what am I going to be? Oh no, I fell on my favorite outfit again.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I love Rogue, so I mean, the Rogue suit that I made was inspired by Deadpool and Wolverine. I wanted to kind of take some of the elements from the Deadpool suit and then kind of incorporate that into a Rogue suit.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the base of it. And then for MegaCon this past year, my husband does Gambit.
So cool.
So, I mean, we're from New Orleans. We have to.
Makes perfect sense.
So, yeah, he could do a Cajun accent and everything.
Oh, so that's awesome.
Yeah, he loves Gambit. I love Gambit too. But so he wasn't able to go to MegaCon on that Sunday. Mm-hmm. So I was like, what am I going to do? Like, I could wear Rogue again. I was like, ooh, I should wear my husband's Gambit jacket. And then I could be like, if Gambit died and Rogue absorbed his powers before he died, and then she's like, I'm about to go ape on people because
that's a comic.
You killed my hand. You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't that be cool?
That would be so cool.
Like, I'm just going to wear the jacket. It's going to be hot as heck if I wear his jacket. And then I just threw together like a black headpiece thing. And then I wore red contacts. I don't have full sclera contacts, but I did have like red contacts.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was cool because I was able to get where the voice actors were for Rogue and Gambit that day.
That's so awesome.
And so I got to talk with them. And I made like this card prop. It was actually for a Zatanna cosplay.
Cool.
Where I took like really thin fishing line and then playing cards, and I fed the fishing line through the playing cards.
Nice.
And then tied like circles at the end so I could hold the fishing line, but from a distance it looks like the cards are free floating.
Mm-hmm.
So I brought that as well, and I took the playing cards out, and he was like, oh, that's sick. And then he had like his Gambit cards. So I was like, stuff like that. It just, I love it.
Great memory.
But but I would say, I think the one that I'm most proud of and the most work went into it and the most time went into it is my Feora cosplay.
That's
specifically the one from the beginning of the movie, because I'm not gatekeeping. I'm just legitimately saying that up until the point that I made it, I have not seen anyone else make that costume. So I was like, I have to do it some way. So it's all foam, it's all Dremel. Like, yeah, it took me several months to make that costume, chipping away at it. But I still have it. I probably will, wear it again. And that's the thing, is I want to make things that last. I don't want to have just one and done stuff because of, that movie's coming out right now. So I'll just do this character and then I'll never wear it again. And it just goes in the closet. Like, I want to be able to wear these things multiple times because a lot of work does go into them.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I would say probably Feora is a special one for me, just because it was really during a time where I really wanted to get better at film work. And that one probably, for sure, it's a special one for me.
That's a great answer. I love that.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it, so that's even better. Like, that is so cool. I like that though. I like that you've done something that you're so proud of and that you're able to still wear it and do your thing, and it's like holding up and everything is solid. Like, that is the coolest part. I think like you know this because you live by the parks too.
Yeah.
I have unintentionally gotten bits and pieces of what could be a very fun Indiana Jones. So I feel like all I need
Yeah.
to buy is a hat and jacket from Hollywood Studios, and I'll be in the money.
Yes, I have seen
Um,
that.
and
They do
I'm
have
good
it.
for it. What's that?
I saw that they do have the
Yeah,
hat
yeah.
and the jacket. It's like it's expensive, but it's very good quality. I
It's
mean,
it's
it is top quality.
yeah. Over 2 months maybe I'll pick up bits and pieces, like you said. Annual,
Yeah,
who cares?
yeah,
But you
just
know,
yeah, chip away at it. Yeah.
to kind of enter into the world of theme parks, at
Hmm.
least for our last segment here, because I know we've been chatting for a minute, but I do want to talk theme parks.
Yeah.
Do you Disney bound? And if so, what have you Disney bounded? And for those who don't know, that's basically when people go to the park dressed as elements of a Disney character because you can't
Hmm.
dress as a Disney character. So like
Yeah,
you
as an
might see
adult.
of James, or I would hope a lot of Kitas from Atlantis the Lost Empire. In some facet there'd be like a cool dress or like
Yeah.
hairstyle. There's just so many cool ways you can do it. Is that something you've done?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I think so. I think it's my dad's fault, but growing up, going to Disney, every couple of years he would want to take us. My dad loves that stuff. He was very much like itinerary, like, okay, we're
Mm-hmm.
getting fast passes at this ride, and then we're gonna go to this park on this day because the crowds should be lower, and all that stuff.
It's season.
So yeah, he was always the one that we would be getting in line for something. He's like, okay, y'all go get in line for that ride, and I'm gonna go get, when they had the paper fast pass machines, I'll go get the fast passes for, Space Mountain or, whatever. And then as I got older, like, okay, I have to, go to Disney World for my honeymoon, which is what we did. And, kind of over time, I'm like, would always want to plan a Disney trip, and like planning out my outfits was part of the fun. Like, okay, Animal Kingdom, I want to wear something that's like kind of, on theme with that. And then I think, yeah, definitely as I got more into cosplay, it definitely started to, work hand in hand. I do love making Mickey ears. So a lot of times I'll get like floral wire from the craft store and some headbands. And, if I wanted to do like certain colors with flowers, put that together, different charms, bows, different things like that. So that was always fun.
Yeah.
But I think now definitely that I live here now, it's definitely something that I've put more effort into as far as bounding. Whether it be like, oh, let's, if you think of a character, what is their overall color scheme?
Mm-hmm.
It could be as simple as that.
Yeah.
Or finding, a dress or something that kind of has the characteristics of that character, is fun to find. Or like, so I love Fantasmic. That's my favorite
It's a great show.
Disney show of all time. It has so many elements to it that is like everything. And so I was like, I want to put together a look that is inspired by Sorcerer Mickey. So I found a red top that had like long sleeves, kind of like, yeah. And then I found a tulle skirt that's navy blue and has a bunch of stars all over it. And then I still have my Sorcerer Mickey ears from like long time ago. Still have them. Back
That's
when
awesome.
they used to have the sorcerer hat in the park. That's a whole other tangent. So I was like, I want to put that look together, and then I want to go, because they have a Sorcerer Mickey photo op at Hollywood Studios. So that was like my goal, is to do that. And I was like, can you do the Fantasmic dance? And the, Mickey did the Fantasmic dance. And it's just, it's great to see. A lot of the cast members love when people are, come up with these outfits, and they're so nice. Like a lot of times they're like, oh my gosh, I love your outfit, or I love, your dress, or blah blah blah. So that's really fun, and just other people attending the parks as well. um I think it's just a great atmosphere. And then with Universal, I feel like you can kind of get away with more at Universal as
Yeah.
an adult. Like Tonks, I wore a full Tonks at Universal and
Universal,
no one said anything. As long as you're
Universal's
not
that
covering
cool
your
aunt
face.
that doesn't care.
Yes, right, right. Yeah, as long as you're not covering your face and you're not drawing attention to yourself where you're like trying to create some weird photo
Moment.
op
Yeah.
thing. Like, but most people know that, especially in the Harry Potter sections, that there's no characters in
Mhm.
those sections, So if people are there, they know it's people that are there just cosplaying, or, because you can wear the full Hogwarts robes, you can wear that full, immersion there. So I wish there was something. I get why Disney is more careful about that stuff, because they don't want kids to think that you work for the company, and I get that.
Yeah.
So that's why, Mickey's Not So Scary. It's like you really have to take, advantage of the ability to fully be in a costume
Yeah.
inside of the parks and see what people come up with.
Yeah.
But yeah, bounding is so much fun. I mean, some people like go ham and are like come up with crazy
I've seen
stuff.
some good ones.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool to see. It's like, well, is that kind of, I feel like that does kind of, it's a lot of similarities to cosplay,
Oh yeah.
But I feel like it's kind of maybe more of an accessible avenue into it, because you're using, just elements of everyday clothes, and you're kind of more piecing things together. But then again, some people do make their outfits
Yeah, it's true.
for the parks. They make, dresses, they make, hats, Mickey ears and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's just really cool to see that. So again, all of that really does feed into everything that is, that I love.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure.
Yeah, I get it. Theme parks, superheroes, movies, TV. I'm right there with you. Now, in terms of all of the, because I was going to be like Disney centric, but I forgot that Universal is a thing too. So forget that. What's your favorite theme park in Orlando, and what is your favorite ride in Orlando? And this was intentionally difficult, and I'm sorry.
I know. God.
You know what? You can give top two for each, because that is really hard. And I feel like I shouldn't ask a question I can't answer myself, and I feel like I could answer 2 versus 1.
It's tough because I think my answer would be different pre-COVID.
Oh, interesting. That's fair though. You can, pre-post, I don't care. You can say pre-COVID as an answer. I don't mind.
It's tough.
No rules here.
Pre-COVID, I would have said Epcot hands down. Because it had everything that I believe makes theme parks great, which is the front part was all about innovation and invention. That was something that Disney in the theme park world was really leading on. And there was that innovations building where they would showcase new technology that was coming out. I remember my mom, it was when the Segway, so random, but when the Segway was coming out, we were walking through and they had Segways, and we're like, oh. And my mom was like, I kind of want to try to ride it. And so they would let you sign up to try Segway.
Cool.
Which is so funny. And so I just remember having those experiences growing up as a child.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was really, really cool. And even Test Track, the original Test Track, was such a core memory for me.
That bag hitting the seat and scaring you every like 5 minutes.
I know. So good. Yeah, so I kind of, miss those days. Because now it's kind of become more festival, I get it. Like, food's great.
Yeah.
Wrong.
I love
I'm always
snacking.
about trying food, But so, and then the back part, with all of the countries and everything, it really made you think about, all of these different people are coming to these parks for the same reason.
Yeah.
No matter what their age is, no matter what their background is, all of that doesn't matter anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just people trying to have a great time.
Yeah.
With our families and friends and feel some kind of wonderment. And I still miss Illuminations.
Yeah.
That was like
Yeah.
core, so a lot of those different elements that have now changed or have been taken away
Mm-hmm.
I still love Epcot, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have the same it just isn't quite the same.
Different one, yeah.
For me. So that's the tough one. That's the tough one. Gosh, it's tough to say now as far as Disney because they're all so different. I mean, I think Animal Kingdom is very underrated.
I do too.
It's beautiful. That. It's just a beautiful place, and every time I go, I just feel like so calm and like just lovely. I don't know.
Yeah.
Especially with the Avatar section and everything. Like, yeah, I really love Animal Kingdom.
It's a reset.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tough. And then I'll say that with Universal's parks, I did not attend a Universal park until after the first Harry Potter section.
Oh wow!
Opened.
Okay.
My dad would never take us there. We just wouldn't go, and I don't think it was because, like, not necessarily because he didn't want to, but just because going on a Disney trip was such a big deal.
Yeah, it's like going to a restaurant.
It takes up a lot of time and money, and so I get that. You know what I mean? Sure. Like that's a whole week.
And you're comfortable with it. It's like going to a restaurant. I'm like, I'm gonna try something new, and then you just get what you always get.
Yeah, it's so, and then they would always kind of come out with new things. So that's just kind of where we would go.
Yeah.
So the one year, I don't know what triggered it. Maybe it was Harry Potter. I don't know, but my dad was like, "Oh, okay, let's try Universal this year." We're like, "Oh, okay." So remember having a great time. The Harry Potter stuff was amazing. I remember going on Forbidden Journey for the first time, and at its time the technology of that ride was very groundbreaking, and like I had never been on anything like that before. So that was really cool. So, and then kind of even as I would get older, I would find myself kind of wanting to stick to Disney for the most part. And then one year I found out my husband had never been to Universal. I was like, oh, well, let's go to Universal. You've never been. So that was really fun, kind of going with him and watching him experience a lot of the stuff for the first time. And then now that we live here, I definitely have had a huge growth and appreciation for what Universal does.
For sure.
Compared to Disney. So it's very different experiences. Yeah. So I guess let's do this. Favorite Disney park?
It's still hard.
It's still hard. I mean, I guess I would still say Epcot just because of the history.
And they have Guardians now, so that's fun.
For me, I know. Best roller coaster that Disney has built. For sure. And then, for Universal, I mean, obviously Epic Universe, that I tell people, I'm like, I just haven't felt that way walking around a park in a long time. It made me, and it might be because it's new, everything's new. So you're experiencing it for the first time. So of course everything's going to feel like, wow, but I don't know, something about it just felt so unique
Yeah,
and
I agree.
very special, very special. I think they really listen to critiques of their existing parks, what people were saying,
Hmm.
like, oh, we're tired of all this screen crap, or
Yeah,
we're
that
tired of all
especially.
the simulator rides, or, you know, um, uh, I know people have said, like, you'll be in Harry Potter and then all of a sudden you walk and you're like, dun 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 dun. You're like, oh, okay.
It's
It's like kind
jarring.
of, yeah. So the idea of the portals literally transporting you into these different worlds was like, whoever came up with that idea deserves.
They probably watched a lot of Marvel movies and were like, multiverse.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Maybe so. Like Doctor Strange. Yeah.
Seriously.
Brilliant, 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 brilliant.
Hmm.
I don't think that's really been done to that scale
Not
before.
not in real
Like
life. Video
crazy,
games like Thrillville
incredible.
for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, real life, no way, Jose.
yeah, incredible. So, and I mean, there's just something for everyone. The
Mhm.
range of, you know, r- world world building and experience is so varied.
Yeah, it's a celebration of fandom. You can a horror fan and a Nintendo fan can find interest in each other's thing,
Yeah,
and then also go
yeah,
to animation and then Harry Potter, and it's all there for you to
right,
enjoy. I think that's one of the things I've always found so interesting is like when I went to
right.
Epic Universe with my coworker,
Mm-hmm.
and we did like the one day of goodness, what was it? It was Nintendo and How to Train Your Dragon. When we did that, she was in
Yes.
How to Train Your Dragon. I was in Nintendo. The next day, she was in Harry Potter. I was in Monsters stuff. Like,
Yeah.
and we all liked it all equally.
Correct.
Like maybe we personally like it at different levels, but we're all just
Yeah.
enjoying it all together. I think that's something that's very special with Epic Universe is that it almost forces you by taking you to these literally different worlds
Mm-hmm.
to embrace them 100%,
Yes.
even if you don't normally,
Correct.
because then you can kind of just feel it, And I think
Correct.
that's something wild and something so cool. So yeah, Epic Universe is just something else with that. I have to agree.
Yeah. I'm yeah, very excited to go back again. We have some friends that'll be coming in town in September and they want to go. So that sounds like the next time we will be going.
Rock and
Um,
roll.
so it'll still probably be pretty hot, but
Yeah.
hopefully a hurricane will, who knows.
I am a
But
September birthday kid. I'm always trying to go to Halloween Horror Nights every year. I know a thing or two about hurricanes growing up in Florida, and they are, I would say, living in Central Florida, knock on my head,
yeah,
mostly they're inconvenient, thankfully.
right.
So here's
Because
hoping
they're
that when,
inland.
yeah. So here's hoping that when you guys go, it's none of that is going to happen. You don't have to worry about it. Again, knock on my head.
Yeah,
I think it'll be okay.
yeah.
But yeah, no, that's cool. I wish that because I was opposite of you. I didn't go to Disney much when I was a kid. I went to Universal, so I got to ride like
Gotcha.
Confrontation. Jaws was one of my most favorite rides.
Yeah,
I'm
I
still
know.
bitter about it.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
when the Lost Continent wasn't there, or when it was there, and that was like
Right.
I'm pretty sure I ate at the Enchanted Oak Tavern when I was a little wee kid, and I rode Dueling Dragons, and I lost my hat on a flying unicorn. Like I remember all of those things, and so putting Harry Potter in that corner was genius. But then it did create that jarring transition into Jurassic Park.
Right.
But like, yeah, I saw Universal warts and all like when I was growing up, like Twister before Rip Ride Rocket ever showed up. I remember seeing that. I got to ride Jimmy Neutron, like.
Dang,
So for me,
Jimmy Neutron.
it was so fun. Oh, I miss
Yeah,
that.
because I think didn't they have more Nickelodeon
Mhm.
influence at the
Nickelodeon
time?
Studios used to be where Blue Man Group was,
Right.
and I remember like always watching on TV Slime Time Live, and they filmed it at
Yeah.
Universal, and like seeing the slime thing, and then I'd go to the parks, and I'm like, where the hell is the slime thing?
Right. Right.
But yeah, no, I grew up Universal coded like through and through. It doesn't help that I love Universal Monsters or my favorite movies, Jaws, or I love Jurassic Park, but I also love Disney. So
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, like my favorite park, it's tough. Like, I wish I could put
I
every
know.
universe and islands into one entity,
I know.
because that's literally everything I like right there: dinosaurs,
Mhm.
superheroes, and monsters.
Mhm.
I love
Mhm.
Harry Potter too, but like personally, those are like my big ones, and
Right.
so
Right.
that's a hard one. Disney favorite park, again, is it Animal Kingdom? Is it Magic Kingdom? I don't like the walk from parking. I don't like all the people at Magic. I love the Haunted Mansion and Tron. So it's like,
Right.
I don't know.
I
I don't
know.
know.
It's yeah, the Disney parks are each one is just such a different um yeah, it's a very different experience,
Yep.
but it's also crazy to see how much it's changed within each park. Again, I talked about everything that I felt has changed with Epcot, and then Hollywood Studios has changed tremendously.
So much. It's a literal
For
shadow
better or for
of
worse.
herself.
Um yeah, I miss like the backlot tour.
I never got to experience
That
that.
was like, oh no. And that's the thing. It's like if you love movies and filmmaking, like Hollywood Studios was such a cool,
Yeah, that's what I
like
had.
it was so many cool things.
Hmm.
Yeah, the backlot tour, they would have you would be on like these trams and they would take you through, they would have all these giant props and vehicles and planes from all these different movies.
Yeah.
And it kind of took you through just like movies, and at the end of it you would exit through this building that had all these different costumes and
Oh,
everything, like Darth Vader and
so
all
cool.
this stuff. So it was very, very cool. I was so sad when they got rid of all that.
Yeah. Were you as bummed as I
So
was with the Great Movie Ride leaving?
mhm.
That one hurt. That one cut deep.
Yeah, and it was just yeah, it was just very different. But yeah, in my husband's opinion, he believes that Star Wars should have had its own park.
I would have to agree with him. I think that Star Tours should stay in Hollywood Studios,
Mhm.
but I think that I hate to say it, Disney bit off more than they could chew with the Star Wars brand in terms of theme parks, because they decided to capitalize at its most divisive time.
Yeah.
And then they leaned
Yeah.
into the most divisive aspects of the fandom. And then they're
Right.
like, why isn't anyone going to our Galactic Star Cruiser? Why doesn't anyone
Well,
care about Batu? Like, I know why no one was going to the Star Cruiser.
well, right. But yeah, it's like it's kind of tough when you're kind of, yes, it's Star Wars, but you're like, this is kind of a made up
Imagine that
area.
you're walking into Star Wars and you're just like, none of this is even real.
Well, right. Like people wanted to see, like, no, I want to go to Tatooine, or like,
Yeah, I want to go
I
to
want to go
Naboo.
to the planets and places that are in the films
Mm-hmm,
that
mm-hmm,
I love.
mm-hmm.
So it's kind of, yeah, well, it's kind of interesting to see kind of how that all shapes out. But
Yeah,
it seems like they're focusing on, they're updating existing things, which definitely some of that needs to happen.
yeah.
And then, some projects that haven't been done before, Monsters Inc. I think is going to be great. Sorry, my dog is
No, no
barking.
worries. I'm a dog fan.
Um,
I'm never gonna complain.
and I don't know how I feel about the Cars Land yet, because the Cars
Yeah.
Land in California is so well done and
Mhm.
beautiful. That was like one of my favorite areas
Yeah.
in Disneyland. So I'm like, I don't know. And so they kind of keep expanding Magic Kingdom. It's like, well, it's going to get to the point where I mean, it's too big.
That
Like,
is
you
true.
need to build a fifth park. You need to take what you're doing and adding on to these existing parks, and it really needs to become a fifth park. They really do.
An Islands of
But
Adventure for Disney, basically.
yes, exactly.
Like, just make
exactly.
it IPs. Just have fun
Yeah.
with IPs. Have an event. Well, they can't have an Avengers Campus, but something loosely-ish there. I don't know. And have your Star Wars and your avatars and your cards.
Right.
I personally, like, specifically with Magic Kingdom, I'm
Yeah.
a bit of a Disney traditionalist. I
Yeah.
believe in adding on. I don't believe in subtracting.
Correct.
So taking away Tom Sawyer, Rivers of America, to me, I feel like it takes the ambiance away of Liberty Square and Frontierland, and what makes that so interesting. Because then you go to Paris, and Big Thunder and Haunted Mansion have a shared lore. So there's a
Yeah.
connection there, even though it's not like canonized in the Disney parks from Florida.
Right.
So
Right.
I just feel like a Cars world, like it would be cool. Don't get me wrong, but kind of, I don't want to say eyesore because we haven't seen it yet, but definitely jarring when you're in the middle of Frontierland in the Wild West and Tiana's over here, and then there's
Yeah.
a car with a face on it, and you're
Yeah.
like, what the hell? But on the flip side of that, I agree with the addition of a Villain's Land on the other
Yes.
end. I think
Yeah.
we should
Yes.
definitely have a Villain's Land, but I just wish there was a way to do it.
Yeah.
You know, another park, so that we don't lose the charm of what Disney World and Disneyland are the first of a next stage of theme park. They're almost living history.
Yeah.
I feel a little gross when they take away that living history to put in an IP like Cars that I hate to say, as much as I like the Cars franchise,
Yeah. Yeah.
doesn't have the staying power as Tom Sawyer and just like the frontiers of America.
Correct. Correct.
I just think that it's risky.
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like I feel like they should take, you know, they could have taken Cars, Monsters Inc.,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Coco.
yeah, everything that is Pixar
Mm-hmm.
and make that its own thing.
Absolutely. Ratatouille.
Separate
Well, I like
from
the
other-
Paris edition though, but
Yeah.
even
But,
so.
yeah. So I think they could have done something cool with that. But, yeah, it's interesting to see
Yeah.
how things are going and playing out.
Mhm.
I have my theories on it, but
You can say one if you'd like.
well, I mean they've been losing money
Yeah.
with Disney Plus, in a lot of their films and TV shows, and I think that's starting to show in other areas of the company that
Mhm.
there is a pretty big loss there.
Lots of sequel
So
wishes.
it makes me think, like, you know, if they were successful with all of that, could things have gone differently
Yeah.
in the parks? You
Mhm.
know, kind of interesting. But you know, I will always love both. Are they beyond critique? No. Are they perfect? No. Do I feel myself when I'm in the parks? Yes.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it's weird to say. I don't know if my best self is weird, but I just I don't know.
No, I get it.
Just,
I totally get it.
Yeah, I think I was telling someone recently, like, I think the reason why these places are so meaningful and special is because, you know, humans are capable of really great evil and terrible things.
Mhm.
But on the flip side, I mean, look at what they've created.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of crazy
It's always going to be a good and bad too.
to think about, you know? So I think something like a theme park takes all of the best elements of humanity
Yeah.
and it just showcases it.
Absolutely. I
Innovation, invention, engineering, art.
And then a lot of
immersion,
that
storytelling.
technology, for sure. And so much of that tech will sometimes be used in the real world,
Right.
real world good applications.
Correct.
And I think that that's, even if it's something like an elevator, like we made an elevator a little bit better. Where'd you get your idea from? Disney. Like, okay,
Right.
sure.
Right.
I'm here
Yeah.
for that. Like, if you make
Yeah,
an
yeah,
elevator a half second faster and a million times safer, I'm not going to complain. Like,
Correct.
it's very impressive. I agree with you saying how, like you say, you feel your best self in the parks. I find myself, especially lately with how busy I've been, need to go to the parks to unwind. And
Yes.
although we've been talking about how good people are, I feel bad saying it. I feel most myself when I'm in like Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
not because it's like I love the death and destruction or anything like that. I was such a scaredy cat growing up. I love horror now. I was such a wuss when I was a kid. I couldn't even look at the Bloody Mary from Halloween Horror Nights 2008. I was so scared. But they had the next year, the movie year, and that was where they had Wolfman, and that's where I was like, well, I'm easily going to overcome my fear because I need to see detail in these houses. Do I remember much from that year? Absolutely not. I was like this through most of the houses. However, in the years I've gone since, and I've gone every year since 2009, I go for the appreciation of the artistic quality. I go for the same reason we go to cons. I go for the horror community, much like the cosplay community, is so welcoming and so kind. And everyone knows why they're there. You know, everything is like a little edgy but fun. And, you know, genuinely, I get sad when I have to leave. The older I get more sad every time I have to leave. I have to wait 4 days to go back again. And then when it's done, I have to wait like 8 months. I have to be like everyone else for 8 months.
I know.
You know, like, and it's the same thing with cons. It's the same thing with a movie premiere. Like, these are the times when I think, and you definitely get it, like, where you just feel your most self. And it's the same with theme parks. I mean, I don't know. It's just, I literally will listen to the cue music for Space Mountain to zone out because it's so freaking dreamy and so good. I'll find, or Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean takes me back to that, like, you know, taking it to like that Fantastic Four 60s vibe. It's so jazzy. Like, the Tiki Room. Oh my God. Everyone's like, the Tiki Room's okay. I'm like, the Tiki Room, they must. It's the best. So, yeah, I get it. The theme parks, especially Disney, I do love Universal so much, but especially Disney is just like this little sliver of ourselves that doesn't get to shine as we get older as much. And there, we don't have to worry about anything. Like, I lost my first job while sitting in Tom Sawyer Island, and I knew it was coming. And you know, it's documented now. So, but you know, I knew it was coming. But you know, there's no better place to lose your than at Disney, especially if you're like, I wasn't happy there.
Correct.
Yeah, there's no better place to deal with things, I think, than going to a place like Disney, because it's not that it forces you to be happy, but it reminds you of what makes you happy.
Yes. Yeah, it does. I think it just reminds you of what's really important. In life. And again, you know, I think, I know it's kind of become this, you know, you have to really plan it out, and it's so many things you have to think about, and I know it can be stressful for people. And now that
we don't know.
Well, now, you know, now that I live here, it's like, okay, can kind of take my time, and I kind of look back and I'm like, man, I kind of wish I'd just kind of chilled out for a minute. And like, it's okay if you don't execute a perfect timeline and schedule, and just kind of sit there and, you know, just take it in and people watch and just kind of, you know, but I do need that thrill. You know, I love roller coasters, so that I have grown in appreciation for Universal for sure over the last year.
Absolutely.
And Velocicoaster is like just the best.
I love Velocicoaster. I love taking people on that ride who say roller coasters, and then they get off of Velocicoaster, and I am smiling to my ears like a crazy person, and they always look petrified, and they're like, I think I'm going to take a break before I go on it again. And then it's like, I guess in my own way, I singled myself out as how crazy I am with that ride. But man, Velocicoaster is just,
from an engineering perspective, it's just insane.
It's so innovative and so impressive, like how they managed to put two types of coasters into one coaster. And it feels so smooth. And with the bucket seat, like lap layout, you feel free, but you're not. That's
right.
As someone who likes to feel secure, I am surprised at how okay I am with that particular.
The first time I rode it, I didn't really watch any videos or anything about it. I remember we weren't even supposed to go that day. We were with friends, and we were there just for Disney. And we were supposed to kind of split off, and they were going to go to Universal. And they were like, no, come, you should come with us. And we're like, okay. And they're like, you know, we want to go on Velocicoaster. That just came out. And I was like, oh yeah, I think I heard about that. And, you know, I could see it approaching it, but my brain just didn't like compute what would need to happen in order to achieve what it does.
Yeah, like that's just a roller coaster being a roller coaster.
Well, yeah, I
Whatever.
was like, oh, that's a really big top hat. Cool. You know, and I didn't know it was dual launch. I didn't know how the seat mechanism worked. So off the bat, I was like, oh, because not only is it just the over the legs, you are suspended, so your feet are not
Yeah.
really touching the ground.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, okay, cool. You know, takes off, dang, you know, immediately you're doing these crazy inversions. So I was like, I haven't screamed like that on a roller coaster like that specifically. And then you hit that second launch and you're like, oh my God, go way up there. And then you feel like you're just being thrown over that top hat.
Yep.
So, the barrel roll over the water, just so many, yeah.
That barrel.
We were all like, holy crap, you know,
And then they
like,
put
what
you
just happened?
upside down for like a second.
I
like
know.
2 seconds.
I know. Crazy.
Like,
Crazy.
Oh man. A part of me is like, that's so fun. Another part of me, when it's happening, I'm like, please be done now. But when you're
I know, I can't. Some people like put their hands up. I still can't.
I love a lap bar exists. I hate being reminded the lap bar is the only thing keeping me alive. Like I literally, like, especially when you do that final barrel roll and the lap bar, it's like every time you like kind of fall into it, I just picture the lap bar has a face and it's looking at me like, yeah, you know, I'm the only thing. I could disappear right now and you would just fall into the water. And I hate knowing that that's how that would go. Yeah. However, fantastic ride. I will always tell people, compared to Stardust Racers, Velocicoaster is more intense. It is like Stardust Racers is the easiest entry level to crazy. I think the company's Intamin that makes them. Yeah, like those crazy coasters. Do Stardust because at worst you'll feel like you're floating and falling and flying. Velocicoaster is like G-forces. You want to know how those work?
Yeah, Velocicoaster is just like what?
Yeah.
What's going on? Right. So yeah, just the inversions and going through the rocks and
love it.
Like so much. Yeah,
easy
Stardust
with Raptors.
I know, yeah, exactly. Like Stardust is just fun. It's just you know, seeing the other people on the track next to you is just really cool. Another really, really great ride.
Yeah.
So excited to go on that again. But now I'm curious how the new Fast and Furious roller coaster in California is gonna be.
It's gonna spin, it's gonna drift.
It's gonna pivot. It's gonna go slightly faster than Velocicoaster, which is my brain is like, okay, how is that gonna work?
I bet you, if I'm gonna venture a guess with my very limited knowledge on engineering and physics, my guess would be that it's going to go fast, really, really fast for the launches. They'll probably do some really good, quick, longer launches to justify that speed.
Right.
And then it's going to slow down for turns. Because
as it starts to, yeah.
Because like those positive G-forces, when you're hitting a turn like that at a speed that's faster than Velocicoaster,
no way.
Do a number on a normal person.
Yeah, it's probably going to be. Yeah, it probably is you know, similar to Guardians where, you know, when you're in the launch, you're stationary.
Yep.
For the launch, you know, probably like you're taking off in a car, everything is locked in, stationary. And then once you start to hit those big turns, that's when it's going to loosen up to allow the pivot motion of your following along, just like Guardians, I think.
And then straighten out another launch. And I think that's how they're going to do it. So it's easy to sell.
Yeah.
We're not lying, but also you're not going to be giving us like a top hat drop in like an 8-person car with like a 2 or 3 car track that spins. You're not.
Right.
It's not. And if it happens, I probably wouldn't ride it, to be honest. That sounds like.
I know part of me is trying to figure out if I want to do Rip Ride Rocket one more time before they tear it down.
Ugh.
In recent years, I can't. It just is very unpleasant and shaky, and my head hurts when I get off of it. Like
same with Hulk.
Oh, really? With
I
Hulk? Oh
can't do Hulk
no.
anymore.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's mostly G's. Yeah.
and I used to do it so well, and now it's like
Mm-hmm.
at a certain point, I'm like, get me off now. I'm good. I remember I went with
Yeah.
friends once, and we did Hulk, Storm, Spider-Man, and I was the only one who was getting hella nauseous. But I was like, I can't tell them, or
Yeah.
ruin the night. We're about to close the park. Like I can't sing. So we went
Right.
on Spider-Man, and I adore that ride. I've never looked down. I had to look down.
Oh.
And then the ride broke, and I was like, oh, thank
Oh my
God.
gosh. Yeah.
So I haven't been on Hulk since. And Hulk,
Okay.
I
Okay.
love Hulk. I miss
Yeah.
the version of Hulk, but man, oh man, that yeah, I don't know if the G's like Rip Ride Rocket is another one where like I rode it one time, I was good. It was
Yeah. I hate the side, the bar that comes from the side.
so heavy.
That makes me more scared than something like Velocicoaster.
Absolutely, because
When
the
it comes down like this,
because the seat on Velocicoaster, the way the bucket seat is set up, the lap bar kind of completes that circle.
Correct.
And then
Correct.
you're because you're already like in there. But with Rip Ride Rocket, if I remember correctly, it just kind of feels like a seat. And then they
Yeah,
put
it's
the
just
bar?
this. Yeah, it's a seat, and then it's literally just that bar
No.
that
Yeah.
comes down, and it's like if it doesn't, you know, if you're not someone where it comes down like level, and it kind of is a little bit of
A little
it's
good.
locked in, but it's a little bit,
Yeah,
planted looking. Like that freaks me out.
for sure. I remember going up the 90-degree inversion, which I hate.
I hate that. I know.
I feel like I'm gonna slide out. Like
Exactly.
I feel like I'm sitting here and I'm like,
It's
does
rough.
this seat have a recline? Because I don't want to slide right now.
It's rough. Yeah.
Not
At least with Velocicoaster, it's like, yeah, your brain's like, oh man, I only have over the leg restraint.
Mhm.
But I mean, your legs are locked.
Oh yeah.
You're locked in.
Especially if you're someone like me who makes sure you're locked in.
Yeah, I'm like, push it down. Like, I appreciate when the cast members come and like
Oh yeah.
continue to push it down more than you think it could even go. I'm like, no, I want to be locked in.
Yeah. For sure. I don't blame you at all. Like I'm the exact same way though. Like I remember when we went on Monsters and I had the lap bar down and
Yeah, with that, yeah.
I had gone with my fiance and her mom and during one of the previews and it broke and we were sitting there for 30 minutes and I realized how quick or how tight I had put mine because my legs fell asleep. And then, of course, I mean, I'm sure you know how the ride system, or you've just been evac, but I'm sure you know, like, there's a ledge, there's a drop, and you're suspended by a robot arm. So I had to get my sleepy legs to wake up enough to, like, climb up the stairs to get down onto the ledge where a big drop is right under me. And I'm like, okay, legs, please don't do the pins and needles right now. And then they're like, you guys need to keep walking right now. And I'm just like, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
Now, like, and then my legs started waking up mid walk, and I'm just trying to be cool about it and not act like it's the craziest feeling in the world.
Yeah.
So I definitely put my lap bars tight, maybe too tight.
Yeah, but I mean, rather feel locked in. But yeah, I was surprised how, because compared to Forbidden Journey, the restraint on Monsters, you definitely have more room.
Oh yeah,
around here.
I love that. They want to, like, feel the monsters.
Think I think it works for sure. Yeah.
Oh my God, that ride.
Yeah, that ride, and like you said, it's like I wouldn't consider myself like a big horror fan, but I appreciate Dark Universe and what they did with it. Like, everything looks amazing. The queue for
oh my gosh,
Monsters Unchained is insane.
Yep.
So all of that is just so incredibly done. The animatronics are incredible. Like, I really love that ride. I didn't think I would.
Yeah.
As much as I did.
It's amazing.
So I can't imagine for people that love that stuff.
It's the lore.
It's like a love letter to. It seemed like a love letter to all of the, just monsters that
100%
people love.
It's both tied to so many of the movies. It literally, because the Universal Monsters are the first shared universe movies ever had. And that alone is something people don't talk about enough, but it's so important because they had crossovers. The events led into other events in loose ways, but
Right.
I love that ride because it embraces all of that history, but then it also is like it's like the Avengers in a way. Like you're getting a justifiable story to get all of these characters
Yeah.
into one spot,
Uh-huh.
and it doesn't compromise. Like they never have to take any liberties with the narrative to justify what it's doing,
Right.
and that
Right.
makes it even better. Like, okay, so we have a descendant of Frankenstein who made a new monster. I'm in. The Dracula,
Right.
the same Dracula, you know, it could be a new Wolfman. It doesn't matter. It's a curse. Anyone can be the Wolfman.
Right.
And then even the little things of like, where's the Invisible Man? Oh, he never got captured. Why? Because he's in Dark Universe.
Right.
And you can just
Right.
see him. So it's those little things that make me as like a classic Universal Monsters fan so happy because care and love was brought into it without having to sit there and go, oh, we had to change this to make this work, which is one of my least favorite things when you try to make a universe work for fans.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, Dark Universe, and both it just being literally an amazing ride and one of my most favorites, not my most favorite, like, that's good stuff. I absolutely love Dark Universe.
Experience, yeah. Yeah, I'm kicking myself because when we were there for the grand opening, you know, they kind of had those different interview opportunities.
Yeah.
And we kind of happened upon the creative director, and it's very nice.
Yeah.
We got to talk with him for a bit, and the question flashed through my brain, but then in the moment, you know, it like you lose it.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to ask him if there were any, you know, kind of in the early stages of them figuring out which worlds that they wanted to start off with. You know, I feel like probably How to Train Your Dragon was probably a top contender.
Yeah.
Because of how popular it is. It was a surefire thing.
Absolutely.
I think that was probably the smartest decision they could have made, for sure. You know, Dark Universe makes sense. You know, they're like, okay, we got to do something with our monsters.
Yep.
Harry Potter, of course. And then Nintendo World makes sense because it exists in other parks of theirs.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to ask him if there was any other ideas that they had for world building.
Absolutely.
That didn't make the cut. Or if they didn't make the cut, are they just shelving it for future expansion? So if you had to pick 2 expansion pads that you would add to Epic Universe, what do you think?
Oh, Fast and Furious. No, I'm kidding. I would say family before everything. I would say
send a car to space.
That's the ride. It's the ride. It's the only simulator they have. But no, I would say, I know everyone says it, but it makes sense. I would like to see in some way Wicked, because it's such a hit. The Wizard of Oz is so beloved. And I think it would be cool. I don't know what ride they'd make. I don't care what ride they make. I just feel like that's a world that is timeless and deserves a place, especially when Universal doesn't have a castle per se besides like Hogwarts.
Right.
And then as for a second one, see, that's where it gets a little dodgy for me because we already have a Jurassic Park, and I don't really I'd want a different world because that's not it. I don't want Jurassic World. Even though the name is right there. I don't want Jurassic World.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of IPs now, like what IPs they have and what IPs they could use.
I know.
And not doing expansions, because expansions is an easy answer.
Correct. Because I know everyone like wants Zelda. You know, they want Zelda to be an expansion from Nintendo. So like you could absolutely add more to Nintendo. You know, just kind of keep adding more little things like Donkey Kong Country to that.
They definitely have the space. Man, see, now I'm trying to think like what Universal classic or DreamWorks classic. I guess I mean I want to say like, what's that?
Oh no, just saying, like it's kind of tough because a lot of things that you think about they did have.
Yeah. Or like
in the original parks, and then they got rid of it. So it's like, would it be weird to bring some of that back? Like, is interest still there? Like Back to the Future, like Jaws. you
Yeah.
know,
And see, that's where it's
would that work at Epic?
yeah, and I feel like Epic Universe has really kind of drew its line in the sand of if we're going to make a different world, it has to stand out. And I love Jaws and Back to the Future, but I'm like, is that enough of an
Yeah.
idea to deserve
I
the
think they
world?
should have. I think they still could do it because what they've done currently isn't really much,
Mhm.
which is that little DreamWorks area.
Yes,
Um,
that was one I was thinking too, like far,
I
far away.
think, and I heard someone else say this too. I think that they could do Shrek's swamp
Mhm.
and like that kingdom, like a Duloc or
Yeah,
something, because
I think
Shrek
that
is
would be
just
fun.
so popular and so
Yeah,
big that you
I,
could do.
we'll have to see how Shrek 5 does. If Shrek 5
Yeah,
does well, then I think
five is
we
the
could.
indicator.
Yeah, I think if that one kicks it off, then I think it could enter the conversation with some stuff
Yeah,
behind it. I would hope, because I love Shrek, but I also know that like the average kid nowadays probably only knows Shrek from the meme of him looking up like he's up.
I
to
know, it's
something.
kind of like from the millennials' perspective.
Mhm.
You know, we had so many great things from our childhood that are still
Yeah.
like part of our conversation.
Yep.
You know, like SpongeBob. Like I quote SpongeBob all the
I
time.
know. I know what
You know what
world
I
we
mean?
could add.
Yeah, SpongeBob.
That one.
Go
Yep.
back to the Nickelodeon roots.
Yep. I was gonna say Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think.
Well, I think they are going to be doing something with it in their UK park that they
Yeah,
announced.
I've heard that too. I need it.
And I was like,
Buy
okay,
me a ticket. I'm there. Like I need it.
yeah. If they do Lord of the Rings, it's over.
Cause like Rivendell, come on.
Oh my
I don't
gosh.
even know what a ride for Lord of the Rings would look like. I honestly, I don't.
I don't know. I don't care.
Like,
Do a boat ride, like do like you know, I don't know. I think you could do like just a like an easy riverboat ride where you kind of
like a riverboat ride through Lothlorien would be a good one.
yeah, something like that or
And then if you needed like an intense one,
uh-huh.
It sucks because The Hobbit has all of the ride worthy moments.
I know.
But I don't want The Hobbit to be there. I would prefer Lord of the Rings. And then it's like, but the Lord of the Rings is like a methodic
But they
story.
could absolutely do a Shire section where you
Yes.
can go inside of, the Hobbit holes, and they could have kind of like, the town center, and they'll have, the pubs and everything.
The Shire has
Dancing
to be.
Pony or something. Yeah, you could kind of do something. I feel like you could do a kind of an interesting, almost Gringotts-esque ride.
Okay.
Maybe like in when Frodo and Sam are climbing up the stairs, and you kind of start to get to Shelob's lair, and then you kind of get to Cirith Ungol and like all those things. Like that would be kind of cool.
That could be cool.
Kind of like there's some kind of storyline to the ride, and you're kind of moving through these different scenes or something like that. Maybe I don't know.
Or like a escape.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings. Yeah, Lord of the Rings would be crazy. I mean, I don't think that any theme park has done anything with that before.
Ever. I mean, you get is museum themselves, and they just have the set visits, much like how Harry Potter had it in the UK. So yeah, I guess my final answers would be Wicked and Lord of the Rings.
Okay. Yeah, solid.
That sounds fair.
That makes sense. Yeah, that definitely makes sense. And that's where Universal could really take advantage of their ability to expand off of different IPs.
Yes.
Because Disney is kind of limited to their own products.
Yeah, it's like a lot, but a little.
Yeah, like they're doing things based off of their own characters. And with Pixar, the only thing that they've expanded into, which would be Star Wars
Yeah.
and Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
But we
that's
really still haven't.
Yeah, and
You know.
I don't know if people would want their expansion focus to not be on Disney properties.
Mhm.
I think there's a lot of criticism that comes with, oh, you're doing Star Wars again. Oh, you're doing Marvel,
Right.
but Avengers
Exactly.
Campus was so boring. You know, like
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that people would say. And even now, like with Animal Kingdom, I'm sad that Dinosaur's leaving and getting replaced with Indy, even though I love Indy.
I
like that Encanto is going to be there,
Mhm.
but I wish, I guess, that like I hope that they lean into the South America angle of it all and don't just go, look, it's the casita, like check it out, it's so cool. Like I want that to be an addition to a South America area. Like I want them to celebrate that culture. I hope it's not just Disney being Disney and focusing solely on the property, because that's not what makes the park interesting.
Yeah, well, like how they do now, like you have Africa, you have Asia.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just outright, you know, shoving their characters and stuff in your face. Yep. It's like, okay, it's about the animals and it's about the ecosystems and it's about nature.
And then they're going to toss in Zootopia as well. So it's...
That makes sense, but that does make sense. It should have been more than just the show. It should have been its own area, which they do have.
Only doing a show?
I think so. I think it's just replacing It's Tough to Be a Bug.
You're right. I completely forgot
for
that.
now.
Yeah.
But they have a Zootopia area in...
Is it Shanghai?
It's either Shanghai or Hong Kong.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
Man, oh man. Yeah,
I
don't know what Disney's up to. I know that the parks are going through it this year with different projects going on, but it's just like...
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I need more of the parks to be celebrated and less IP, but then if they're going to do an IP, it shouldn't be the attraction. It should be part, like the Paris extension. Remy's a part of that extension.
Right.
The extension isn't just Remy.
Just right. So exactly.
I want more of that idea permeated throughout, since they're taking Dinosaur away and it's hurting my heart. But it's okay. I'm not going to ride the Indy here first. I need to ride the one in Disneyland. I've never been, so I'm not going to ride it here because it's like, oh, we have Indy at home. No. I'm not doing that. I want to do the one that came first.
Gotcha.
I can let Haunted Mansion slide because I love Haunted Mansion, but Indy, no, I've got to experience the OG. So
okay. Yeah. I don't know if they're just going to make a similar ride here or what they're going to do with it. But it is pretty similar to like Dinosaur.
Same ride cars too.
Pretty much.
So I mean that part is cool. It makes sense.
Yeah, it is cool. Mm-hmm.
And I'm not.
It's kind of like in that park's Adventureland area, so it's like kind of close to like where the Jungle Cruise is and things like that. So it makes a lot of sense.
That's awesome. That is the.
It makes so much sense where it is.
Again, addition versus subtraction. Like you've fitted in where it makes sense instead of changing everything to be Indiana Jones. Like that's what I prefer. So that's super cool.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I mean, shoot, I don't think I have any more theme park things to bring up now. Unfortunately, now could I come up with a part 2? Absolutely, I totally could. Yeah. There's something to talk about. But I figure we've been chatting for a while, so it might be best just for the sake of our date that we should probably get on with the rest of it. This has been a super fun time. I did not expect to talk so much about superheroes and theme parks, and I enjoyed every second of it. This is the piece. Is there like how can any listeners reach follow you on social media so that they know for the future?
Yeah. So on Instagram, TikTok. I still call it Twitter.
I do too. It's okay. I don't want
whatever. You can find Morganite Cosplay, which is where I've been mostly sharing, all my cosplay stuff. But my goal is to kind of diverge and also make more parks content as well, and kind of bridge the gap between the two. So I'm still kind of deciding if I want to have a separate page for that, but it'll all still be under the umbrella
Mhm.
Morganite.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, and then also I'm considering trying to maybe get into YouTube and other things like that. But yeah, and for the most part, you know, I do mostly Marvel and DC characters, but kind of depending sometimes other fandoms as well. I love Harry Potter, and then currently working on Astrid from How to Train Your Dragon.
Wicked.
So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Well, cool. Well, I hope everyone gives her a follow. She's got some awesome stuff. I already do, and I always enjoy anytime you post. So it's a blast. You can follow me at n.brooks94 on Instagram. Pop Sub Club on YouTube, which is still under construction in terms of making it look nice. There's 2 videos up now as of this recording, so please check them out if you'd like. But yeah, Morgan, thank you so much again. This has been so fun. And
No
to
problem.
everyone else, you guys have a great rest of your day, night, morning, whenever you're listening to this. If it's too late, go to bed. I don't know. Take care, everyone.